Welcome,
Love the
everybody.
intro.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Well, this is going to be a really amazing show. We got two awesome guests, Topher and Adam, need to know, on the show. And of course, my good friend Siddharth, or Sid, as I call him. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's a
Hey, everybody.
that's a great intro, and the logo's pretty awesome. Good job with that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I apologize for immediately talking as soon as it was done and kind of interrupted you and screwed up your intro. So I apologize right off the bat.
No
thanks.
problem.
Thanks, Nick and Sid. This is definitely an honor and a pleasure for us, and really looking forward to this.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. And we got a lot of topics to cover, actually way too many. Just before we went live, we talked about it. Like, if you're out of this space for a week, there's such a flood or tsunami of things happening. It's incredible. And maybe we can start right there. Like we already did the introduction in the previous show, so we'll skip that. But you guys are following this 24/7, and I know Sid is too. I can't because I'm also running BitcoinLive. But how do you guys cope with the amount of information out there?
Well, I mean, I'll speak for me. I cope with burying it all and then exploding it out on our show, the Uncovering Anomalies podcast, because for whatever reason, every time I talk to my coworkers about UFOs and aliens, they're not so interested. So I have to talk to Adam about it.
That's yes, it's like our therapy session, We get all the information, like, please, let's talk about this, because we have no one else to talk to about it. But yeah, that is strange. Even these days, it's in the mainstream. They're making legislation about it. We're having UFO hearings, and there's still an issue of people saying, I don't want to get into that. Now, it might be because it's such a paradigm shift, or they just the PSYOP works so well. And I think all this information that's coming out, so much of it on a weekly basis, is turning people into like, I'm not going to believe anything, and that might be the effect of this. It's the other side, like a counter to disclosure, is to just release ridiculous things, and a lot of it.
Yeah, I think UFOs and aliens, that gets wrapped up in conspiracy, and for a lot of people, as soon as the word conspiracy gets brought in, you just kind of put it aside. So every time you talk about, big government conspiracies or whatever, they just go, oh, yeah, whatever. And aliens and UFOs get looped into that. And that's just the unfortunate side effect of society as a large. You know what? I can't blame people. You have to focus on what's in front of you. You got to focus on putting food on the table and keeping a roof over your head, and everything else is kind of like, oh, that's a thing, but I don't have to care about it because it doesn't affect me.
Well, it's actually interesting because I did sort of ask Grok to sort of collate the amount of belief out there, because I was kind of curious, because like you guys, I sometimes wonder how come we are the only ones that are sort of talking about it or interested in it, and while there's a tsunami of growing evidence, a mountain of evidence, even though it's mostly anecdotal and indirect, that there's still so many people out there who are not into this stuff. And I want to share this with you guys. This was sort of the answer from Grok. So when it comes to UAPs, it seems that around 40 to 45% of Americans.
Nick, you're sharing the wrong screen, I guess.
Yeah,
you're sharing my screen.
We're getting a really close look at Adam.
Oh, look at that nice poster.
Okay.
I do like the poster.
I like the cigarette. I used to smoke, and the thought of a cigarette is so much better than an actual cigarette. Now when I smoke, I'm like, this is disgusting.
Adam and I have had this conversation many times in real life. And it's the same thing. You smell a cigarette and you go, oh man, I want one so bad. And then you smoke and you go, why did I do this?
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry, Nick.
Well, no. By the way, for the people watching, Restream just did an update. So, when things go weird, it's because of the update.
Okay.
But 40 to 45% of Americans believe that UAPs are actually real, unexplained phenomena. That's a pretty high number, right? 40 to 45%.
That is very high, yeah.
I wish it was higher.
And then aliens or extraterrestrial beings, like 50 to 65% believe in the existence of aliens and intelligence.
All right.
But then elsewhere in the universe, of course, not on
right.
Earth.
Yeah.
But those numbers are also high. And this is based on Pew and Gallup and, So this is serious numbers. And then NHI, or non-human intelligence, that one is also actually pretty high, because it says here, based on sort of the sources that they used, is 50 to 65% also.
Interesting.
So and then the paranormal, so ghost, ESP, psychic phenomena, also 60 to 75%. So these numbers are huge.
Not bad. Not bad. I mean, if you talk to anyone on the street, a lot of people have had weird experiences, whether it's ghosts or Sasquatch, or usually it's UFOs and aliens. I mean, many people have had these kind of experiences. And again, it goes back to, I saw this with my own eyes, therefore it's real.
Yeah, I think what people, I think, the belief is there, but they don't want to get into the big, grand conspiracy thing.
Yeah,
that's what it is, I think, which scares everyone, right? That there is a group hiding this.
But the same as ghosts, right? Like, people believe in ghosts, but then they do their whole thing. They don't even care about it, but they know that ghosts exist. Like, a lot of people believe in demons and all those things, but they don't actually talk about it because they have like other things to worry about. Same with the.
Do you also think there's like sort of a dissociative element to it? Like, that often people have like a personal strange thing, like a dream, or maybe they see something weird and then they think, oh, it's just only me or something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
And that's what happens with the UFO phenomenon. People have to see it themselves or experience it themselves in some fashion, right? And in some situation, then they become believers. It's very few people, and there are podcasters actually like this, and big ones too, that haven't even had an experience but are obsessed with it. But those are few. It's usually people who have experience.
And they're funded by Peter Thiel.
yeah, exactly. The Antichrist himself.
And I think also because sort of when you compare to sort of crypto and Bitcoin, like 10 years ago or 16 years ago, it was like a very small niche thing. Like you got very few people who were actually interested in doing research, and I actually came into it like in 2017, a little bit earlier, but I really sort of started was 2017. But what you see also with Bitcoin and crypto is sort of like this sort of incubation period. And then after the incubation period, it sort of spreads or it sort of explodes, just like a virus. And I think that sort of is analogous to what's happening with the UAP thing. Like, actually, that's this incubation period where people like us, these podcasts that are more and more are sort of all talking about it, and then people are digesting it, but they're not talking about it in public because they're afraid that they get shamed or ridiculed.
Right.
But then at some point,
I mean, that's real. Look at us. We're anonymous, right? We're not showing our faces, and for exactly that. It's Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
No, actually, normally I do with camera, but I felt like with all of us,
at least 3 of us don't show our faces, so
okay.
I'll just join the club. But then at some point, these people, they talk to each other like at family gatherings or when they visit each other, and then I think at some point the other person says what the other person is thinking, and then there's some stuff on TV, and then they suddenly know, oh, we can just talk about this freely without ridicule. Like, there's enough sort of trailblazers out there who sort of
I guess. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, our family are pretty open about this, with Topher, and Topher would say that. I don't think we get ridiculed when we talk about this subject at family gatherings. Maybe some people say it internally, and don't.
Yeah, I only get made fun of when I'm wearing a tinfoil hat and screaming at people on the street. Those people, they do not like my discussions about UFOs and aliens. But that's on them. That's on them.
But it goes back to the message of decentralized disclosure, right? And that's something we got from you guys about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, how decentralization is the only way, to maximize freedom and prosperity. I think the same thing should be applied to this subject, UFOs, because open source is the only way we can solve things, right?
And to be fair, I do think that more and more people are willing to accept this and discuss this. It's just like Bitcoin. Like, it was this weird niche, thing 10, 15 years ago, and now everyone's openly talking about it. And I kind of think UFOs and aliens are the same way. More and more people are willing to accept that, this is in fact part of our reality.
But if that's the case, like if what we just discussed is actually going to happen, then that means that we're not very far off from this sort of explosion of into the mainstream, like that everybody sort of, or at least the vast majority of people are sort of going to deal with this reality.
I sure hope that's the case. Yeah.
Especially with scientists. I mean, the internet was a DARPA invention, right? And then they gave it to the people. Look what we did to it. Same thing they say with crypto, that crypto came from the intelligence or NSA or something. They gave it to the people and look what we did with it. So, hopefully something
we made
similar.
NFTs out of that.
What's this new thing? Push.love or something. What is that? I haven't looked into it, but I've seen it everywhere.
Did you say push.love?
Something like that. Or
pump.fun.
Or .fun, that's what it is. Yeah.
Pump.fun. Oh, that's like,
what is that?
If you want to lose some Solana, just go there and buy a coin. You will lose all.
Okay, so it's a scam.
It's not a scam. It's like, so the company itself is not a scam, but the coins on that portal is a scam, basically.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it's pushing, it's in the name. You're pushing a certain coin, a meme coin, and you're gonna rug pull.
Yeah, basically that's at some point. I lost a lot of money, by the way. I knew that I'm gonna lose, but then I still went there, lost a lot of it.
It's like
still no regrets.
The house
not even a casino, but in casino you have a chance to win, right? There is no chance of winning in pump.fun.
Well, thank you for taking the hit for us.
You got those professional snipers, and with meme coins, it's almost impossible to win that game unless you're. At the moment you can sort of start stacking memes and then actually become a whale because they're so low. So you can, if they have like a low market cap, you can actually start.
Yeah, but what's the point when there is no liquidity? The
as soon as it starts moving,
founder of that coin is going to rug you. So even if you're a whale, doesn't matter.
It depends on the
Nobody's
meme.
buying.
But I don't recommend it.
Okay, well said.
Highly risky.
All right, hopefully the audience heard that as well, because if you guys are saying that, then it's so stay away. Basically, it's fun. Do it if you want to have fun. That's about it. Don't go in there to make money.
Yeah. And even if you're don't spend more than $10 on a coin. Basically, $10-15. That's it. That's your limit. So you can afford to lose. Don't put like 2 or 3 Solana on a coin, because that's a big mistake. I always put $10-15 because I know if I lose $10, it doesn't matter. But then you put like $10 and 150 coins, then you realize you have spent too much money.
So what, are people making this just to have, create the next Doge coin? Like, is that what they're using this for?
It's not even Dogecoin, because Doge and Shiba, they were the original meme, right? With this one, they are just releasing another form of like NFTs. Like there were like first crypto punks and then Bored Apes, and then every day there were like 100 new NFTs out there. So it's similar to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay away.
Stay away.
And it's so bigger than that because the president of the United States launched his own meme. Solana.
Didn't he just launch a credit card as well?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He launched so much. So he launched NFTs first, then he launched a pump.fun, that not on pump.fun, but the Solana meme coin. And then few hours later, his wife launched another coin. That was really stupid.
Oh, boy.
She crashed both of those coins. A lot of people lost a lot of money, like literally everyone. Kanye, I hate Kanye now. I was a big fan of him.
Did he do it too?
He launched a coin and it shoot up to $3 billion market cap within like 10 minutes. I bought it at there. I put like 1 Solana in there. I was like, it's Kanye coin. It's gonna go to, if it's at 3 billion, it's gonna go to 10 billion, and then I'll take the profit. Right, like 5 minutes after I put money into that, everything just went to zero. Not to zero, but like I lost it. investment
But
managers.
to be honest,
man.
celebrity meme coins are the worst of all of them. Like, that stay away. If you stay away from anything, it's like celebrity meme coins. It's like highly dangerous.
I feel like
definitely celebrity.
The trick is you have to get in at the ground level, and where I'm going with this is I think the four of us should launch our own meme coin.
No. Never launch your own coin, because especially with our views, CIA will arrest us, because that's a crime, and they are looking for us to do something stupid, and that will be really stupid, because like rugging is a crime.
Boy.
Yeah.
I will never launch my coin ever, because I know that's like giving them your weak point, like a reason to arrest.
What if what if our quote unquote wink wink our brothers launched a meme coin?
I know a guy.
I know a guy.
Yeah,
we'll just we'll just mention it on the show here and there.
yeah.
No, but promoting a meme coin is also, which is rugged, is also offense.
But actually,
so even if we don't own it, but we promote a rug, that can have some issues.
You guys know the book 3 Felonies a Day? I forgot the writer.
Yes. That's a great book.
So basically, everybody is guilty of something at all times, right? Because they made so many laws.
Yeah.
I think it was Tacitus who said, like, you can gauge the level of corruption of a society by the amount of laws that it passes. Like, the more laws, the more corrupt the society is. But basically, they can catch us on anything. Like, you trip 3 felonies today.
Yeah, and same thing happened to Kim Kardashian, because she promoted, I think, meme coin on Ethereum, and then they fined her like $100 million.
Damn, she must have made a lot of money then.
She didn't go to jail, but then she had to pay a lot of money to get out of it.
So guys, let's go to UAPs.
Yes.
I think this is a really nice place to start, because it sort of, I think, ties to a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about. It was one of the.
Speaking of,
it's becoming. There we go.
Hey,
Palin's, I love that picture. Like, look at him; he's just sweating.
He looks like a lizard person, right?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you want to play a little bit, and then we're gonna talk
let's
about
do
it?
Yeah.
Cool. Here we go. Oh, sound.
In terms of surveillance and data mining, and the power over your life has never been as Orwellian as it is now. And it, even with AI and all of these models, it's even going to get more intrusive.
Yeah.
So I think it's not only these great fortunes, but it's their capability to literally be gods, to literally know what you're thinking, what you fear, what you want, your desires, all of these things, having all your data, knowing everything you do, knowing how fast your heart is beating. You know, all these wearable things that you have that are transmitting frequencies to, someplace where all of your health data is being stored. That's what bothers a lot of people. It's what bothers people about this Palantir thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
The Palantir thing is very odd.
A lot of people feel that this is the precursor to a social credit score, a digital kind of police state, and that it's being done under the guise of security, that you will be safer.
Which is what the Patriot Act was brought through with.
That's exactly right.
It's always the case. It's always the case. They always sneak it in like, you got to be safe.
Yeah.
And then you get the Benjamin Franklin quote.
The people that want security, right? They something about they deserve neither.
Yeah.
That trade liberty for security deserve neither. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I just think Peter Thiel's giving a 4-part lecture on the Antichrist.
Yeah, that seems odd.
4-part. Well, here's what's really wild to me: 4 parts. It's not just one. One lecture on the Antichrist would be insane. This guy's doing a series. He's doing a 4-part lecture on the Antichrist, and nobody in his inner orbit went, Peter, how about 1 lecture on the Antichrist or no lectures? Not 4.
Well, I don't think he understands the optics.
He certainly does not.
So let's stop it there.
All right, wait, just quickly. just quickly, there is I saw something floating around there. I mean, on the internet about why he's doing this. Because if you Googled Peter Thiel Antichrist before, you'd get all these videos about people calling him the Antichrist and why, with evidence. So there's a theory out there, and Dubai has done this, is that if you want to get rid of those results and own those results, you release something that when people Google it, that's what's coming up. So people are saying that's what he's doing. He's trying to clean all those results. And then when you put Peter Thiel Antichrist, it'll be his 4-part series on the Antichrist. Like Dubai chocolate, by the way, before it came out, if you Google Dubai chocolate, it's pretty nasty stuff.
Is that for real? Because I did not know this, and I work in a field that I deal with Dubai chocolate. That's like the new thing right now.
Yes.
No, but Dubai chocolate was a real shit. I mean, literally.
It
was literally
shit.
It was
prostitutes. It was prostitutes. Okay. It was really nasty stuff, and they had to get rid of that.
Okay, so I did know. I knew about the shit-themed prostitutes going to Dubai. I did not know it was called Dubai chocolate. That is.
Yeah, it's called Dubai chocolate. That was a big thing.
That is wild.
Now, other than that, though, I mean, yes, Peter Thiel is creating like an infrastructure for an Antichrist figure to come in and just take over the planet, right? It's very scary stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the New York Times even asked him before he started doing this series. The guy asked him, he's like, aren't you? Or maybe it was after he announced it. But the New York Times podcaster or interviewer asked Peter Thiel, he's like, isn't it kind of ironic? Because, many people say that you are building an infrastructure for that. And he's like,
Doesn't he name all of his things after Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
What a just evil bastard.
Yeah. Also, with 4-part lecture, there's like a main thing about Antichrist is that he have 4 horsemen.
Yeah.
And I think these 4 parts are symbolizing that. It's not like he's just doing a marketing thing to own it. I think there's like a deeper
and I wouldn't put it past him.
Otherwise he would have done 5-part or 2 parts or 3 parts. 4 parts is like
horses.
I mean, everyone is saying we're living in that age, right? What Israel is doing, greater Israel, that the whole and the Christian Zionists and the Third Temple, and all that is going to
exactly.
And it's weird that Peter Thiel is in the middle of this.
Also, Palantir's technology is being tested right now in Gaza. Like everything what's gonna implemented here in North America is already being tested over there. They have actually released I think advertise of a video of Palantir where they go and find a person and kill it with Palantir technology.
I mean, if they bring and that's with drones too, and autonomous drones, right? I mean, the AI tells them where the target is, and the drones just go and kill. Oh, because the AI said so.
Yeah, that was the ad for Palantir. It was not even an ad; it was like a real video of a drone goes look for the facial recognition. I think goes in the street, deep into the street, and target the specific person.
Could you imagine if they actually do that here? I can't see how that's constitutional, but it's not like they care about the Constitution anyway. No one's challenging them.
They will do few more false flag, and then we are done.
Okay, this is actually the Palantir website. So we talked about it last time, right? So Peter Thiel is sort of, it seems to be he's funding like a lot of stuff in the UAP field.
Mm-hmm.
And my sort of theory was that you had this battle between Trump and his administration and the previous group of administrations, like the Obamas and the Bidens, and basically the Democrats, and he's backed by Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and some other luminaries. So Palantir is also, it also has to do with information gathering, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is about information gathering, but about that, this government and previous government, this is just a lie to fool us. They all work for the same
100%.
Eventually. Yeah, probably the Antichrist, actually.
Yeah, this is all a facade they are creating that, this government was fighting with the previous administration. No, they both are working on the same agenda. Right now, it was way more convenient through Trump than Kamala. That's why
you're
Trump
so
is the
right.
president.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. The best phrase I've ever heard is 2 wings of the same bird when it comes to government.
Yeah, I mean, look at COVID. You know, when it was Trump who brought in the lockdown and all the
and don't forget, he also did Operation Warp Speed, which was to get the vaccinations out there.
Yes.
You know, and of course he left soon after that. And what did the next administration? Because do you remember Nancy Pelosi was running around going like, "Oh, you know, I would never inject myself with something from the Trump administration."
Right.
What was it, like 2 or 3 months later? It was like, "Everyone get vaccinated. Let's go." And it's just like they were so. I feel like they overplayed their hand during COVID. So many people were like, "Wait, what? Can you go back just a couple minutes there?" Yeah. And so many people started to see through the facade that is the. I mean, this is strictly an American, you know, topic that we're talking about right now. I don't want to speak for the rest of the world.
No, but it was similar everywhere in the world. Yeah. Also, like first the masks work, then masks don't work, and then they work again. It was
God!
weird.
It made no.
So our accounts
remember when Fauci?
Sense.
Like we had like
no
big
goddamn sense.
Do you guys remember when Fauci came out with the 3 mask thing, or was it the 2 mask thing? And then the memes.
I will never forget. You have to wear a mask to walk up to a restaurant. You walk into the restaurant, you've got your mask on, and then you sit down at a table and hey. Now the masks, you don't have to wear them anymore. It's just like, come on.
Compliance. It was all about compliance.
Yeah, exactly, man. It just none of it made any sense. And I you know, obviously the whole COVID thing, that whole whatever it was, 2-year era, it sucked. But man, was it a blessing in disguise, because it woke a lot of people up. People were just like, why am I listening to the government?
Yeah. So
and they wanted the whole great reset and implement all these technologies. Remember that guy? What was his name? Klaus Schwab. He was talking about AI.
You delete the bugs.
Yeah, and then that Harari guy, the Israeli, his advisor, was saying we're going to hack the human brain. We're going to hack your body. You know, we have powers stronger than God. You know, it was a scary time. And then Ukraine happened, and then they stopped all of that.
Funny how that works.
But now they are back on track with the modern agenda. I think you will see crazy shit coming, because right now Trump have decided to not attack, but like trying to create a environment to attack Afghanistan.
Oh man,
he's just like, why? I was like, you didn't learn anything from like past 20 years? You want to go back to Afghanistan for what? To get a base?
All you have to do is look at who's pulling his strings, and you know, who is paying Congress. It all becomes very clear.
I mean, it's probably Netanyahu that said, "Listen, you guys need to go back."
You were not supposed to say the name. We just got a second show.
Oh shit! I meant BB. Sorry. I meant Milikowski.
I'm not.
That's why.
There you go.
So there's like 2 possibilities. Either it's like a charade, and it's all pre-planned, like and everybody's playing its part, and then, you know, it looks pretty desperate, right? I mean, then we're in a whole lot of shit, or they're battling each other for supremacy, right? Because I think
it's pre-planned.
Yeah,
it's not just pre-planned from like last century. I think it's planned for thousands of years.
Okay, well, that's interesting, right?
That's how we got the end-time prophecy, and you can see them coming true. I think it has been planned for a very long time.
Yes, they are. I'm with Sid here, because it looks like they're following a script, and it looks like they found something in 1947, right? I think that crash at Roswell sparked something, and they're like, "Oh shit, we can put this in action." You know what I mean? And then they created the National Security Act, and part of that was recreating Israel and the Third Temple. But I think they realized that technology could make them, you know, godlike, or they realized that this realm or whatever we're in, you know, is controlled with technology. Something around those lines.
They clearly found a bunch of Palestinians in that 1947 Roswell crash.
Right, those are the little creatures.
But if it's like a 1,000-year plan or something along those lines, then they are working together with NHI, right? Because then it's supernatural. It's like
certainly seems that way.
Back in the day, we used to call them demons. Now we call them aliens. So
well,
it is.
So no, actually, I think Sid actually brings up a really good point. You know, I think different cultures during different timelines, you know, however you perceive these, I'll just call them NHIs for right now. you're going to try and frame them in the context of what you're living. So if you're a hardcore religious person, you're going to see them as demons. We, as the technological society that we are, we're going to see them as aliens, something outside of a domain that we can control. Those are the only two.
And right now, like even the senators, even some scientific people are saying that they are demons from another dimension. So it's not even
for sure.
Yeah,
But
like Anna Luna said that on Joe Rogan podcast. Like, what else do you want? So,
and by the way, we're also gonna play the game again with the names. I got some more listed.
okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, Luna's definitely one of them. I think the government wants everyone, because you can see this with Luna, you can see it with Burchett, you can see it with Burleson. They want people to be in the Christian. They're bringing us a Christian perspective of it. So it's like they've been told, because they're all doing it. So it's like they've been told, to keep everyone in that camp, or at least with that perspective, and not get out of it, because the power structure is, benefits from that.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
And of course, demon and angel are just words or labels.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We don't even really understand what we're saying.
I mean, right. Some people will say the demons are firing the missiles at the UFOs who are angels. Some people could say that. I mean, who's trying to destroy who?
And not to go like too far down the religious road. I mean, it's kind of a meme at this point, but like if you know what biblically described angels look like, I mean, it is terrifying. They are terrifying.
Yeah.
A bunch of eyes and wings and a bunch of other stuff. Like, who would look at that and go, "Oh yeah, that's an angel"? No, you would be scared as hell.
Yeah. Also, speaking of, like, I just want to talk about the point where the angels are firing missiles on demon. This is actually written in Quran as well, an Islamic thing, that when you see a shooting star, it's basically angels firing at
demons.
A demon.
Interesting. Yeah, the Quran has interesting stuff in
so
it.
it is not just it is like also prophesized back the day. It's not like every shooting star, but some of them.
Yeah, I was going to mention, but before you said that, Sid, is that if we are to take the religious texts seriously, they all depict stuff, people in space or in the sky coming down and affecting humanity, and flying, right? Flying it's in the Mahabharata, it's in the Quran, it's in the Bible.
It changed shapes too. So what was that display about? What was going on there? They were just trying to wow you?
I think it's just, I'm someone who avidly records these anomalies. I share them with the public, and all these small...
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off like that.
No, not at all. And man, I wish these are our gods, because, maybe we will be saved. If they have technologies like this. But no, I mean, I'm just saying that.
By the way, who was speaking?
Jeremy Corbell. I recognize that voice anywhere.
Jeremy Corbell.
Yeah,
it was like the voice was annoying.
He's our arch enemy.
We're gonna judo shop when we see him.
But this is sort of like from the congressional hearings, like the video that they released, right? That it was, or this is not another one.
This is not the This is another one. This is not the missile one.
Okay, but it looks a lot like
this is
like
very similar.
Yeah, it's good you played that, because I just posted 2 videos. I want to really talk about them. I just shared on the group.
Yep. So it's like a mothership releasing
I want
smaller ones.
But just to sort of stick a little bit with the religious things, like that does tie up with the Antichrist and the lectures of Peter Thiel, right? That they're working towards some kind of apocalypse, some kind of revelation, which also ties into what we started the discussion with, with this sort of incubation period, and then suddenly it pops out into the open. That we are actually also ground roots people actually helping spread this knowledge, right? I think one of the reasons that they allow people like us on X and on YouTube and just to talk stuff like this is also to give it a grassroots feel and authenticity that it would otherwise not have, because otherwise it would just be Peter Thiel paying large accounts, and then they say it's just pushed. But we're also talking about it, like we're giving it legitimacy.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Because most people will not believe what the government tells them or some big figure tells them. But if other people, normal people, are talking about it, then definitely that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so we're sort of legitimizing it.
But Peter Thiel also, he's like building churches or something in Silicon Valley and encouraging people.
Good. Good. That'll end well.
But that just shows you how they are pushing this. They want people to understand what the apocalypse is or what the prophecies are, and then when they happen, they're like, "Oh, this must be God," right? And it gives whoever is benefiting legitimacy, but like divine legitimacy,
like a ruler.
Yes, like
for 1,000 years.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're setting it up. I mean, maybe this is Project Bluebeam, but they're setting it up like the second that someone important comes forward that has all the answers and it lines up with everything that we're seeing with our own eyes, everyone's going to flock to that person.
Yeah, Nick, there's that new video that Green Beret came out with on Ross Coulthard's show. I mean, it was terrible video.
Turned into 3.
Oh yeah, this video is cool too. Yeah, I mean this is the one that people are saying it's a balloon. I mean, come on.
No, we can do the other one, right? I'll just
and the reason why because Topher brought up Bluebeam and it looks like Bluebeam technology.
Actually, that's something that I'm sort of building towards. But yeah, we can sort of cover Bluebeam right now.
Oh no, it's up to you. No, it's up to you.
No, that's good. I'll just look for the video. You just keep talking.
Oh, okay, thank God I didn't mention Red Beam. Otherwise, Adam would have gone way off the deep end.
I don't know what Red Beam is.
That team. But yeah, I mean, the guy, I forget his name, but he's a Green Beret, and he apparently had an experience with an NHI and craft and recorded it, and then went on the Ross Coulthard show, and it was not clear. He said it could be interdimensional, although he feels like it's from Earth, and then it looks like a laser, and then, so I don't know.
So he's not the first person. I remember actually one of the things that got me into UFOs as a kid. I don't remember the exact age, maybe in my teenage years. But there was another person that he did the same thing where he would pray to the heavens and he could make UFOs come to him. And I remember watching it on the news, like it was live. It was not some sort of CGI thing. I'm pretty old at this age, so that really wasn't an option back in those days. And again, this was just a local, news channel that was.
I remember him. Yeah, Vegas or something like that. He was a black guy, right?
I think it was somewhere in Nevada. Yeah, maybe close to Vegas. But he would he would call to the skies, and a UFO would appear every single time. I mean, it was crazy.
It was crazy.
Was it? I mean, the Bledsoe guy, right? Next year. What was it? April, I think, that he sort of says this
next year.
Yeah, revelation is coming, and that all these orbs with Iran and Israel were sort of appearing to wake people up.
Yeah.
But he has like a lot of connections, and a lot of people from the government and the military intelligence agencies come to his place, and are shown apparently incredible things that change their minds, and then they lie about it when they come back. About it. but they have given connections.
Yeah, but they have given the timeline for Easter 2026, like something big is going to happen, and that aligns with a lot of things. And secondly, this goes back to our 1,000 years old plan, but I don't think it's a 1,000-year-old plan. I think it's like 3,000 years old plan.
Yeah, 1,000 more, 2,000.
3,000. I mean, from
whenever
the
Torah came out, you can just
exactly from the first temple, basically.
I mean, look, actually, just talking about that, like you got all these stories, like from Graham, of course, with Ancient Apocalypse, who sort of says that you got the survivors of a previous civilization that somehow survived this catastrophe, this flooding, and fire rains from the heaven and stuff. And then they seeded this knowledge that they had and occulted it, right? So it's actually in these occult, probably oracles and mystery schools that are thousands or perhaps millennia old, and then infiltrated society and kept this knowledge alive and to an inner circle of people, like with the Masonry, right? The Masonry is very hierarchical, and at the top of the Freemasons, they share information that is not sort of shared to the lower rungs, right? And at the lower rungs, they're actually doing pretty good work. They're building communities and helping people, and but you don't really know what the top rank knows and what their agenda is, right? And they, of course, they also.
It's weird that 33 degrees like their highest one. Like when you talk about Mason, it's 33 degree, and then you see 33 number a lot
everywhere.
of the places,
Everywhere,
including the recent assassination.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk assassin was found in 33
Charlie
hours.
Kirk thing.
Yeah.
So before we go there, shall we play this video?
And COVID, if you remember, 33 more cases. 11 more cases. So yeah. A total of 33.
It's like every time.
Yeah.
Good. There we go.
And then that's when something ejected out of the bottom, and then you could see it slowly, coming down until it just started to get closer and closer. And then, once it got in proximity of me within 100 feet, as it was closing in, it did something to me that affected me physiologically in a way that almost made me docile or compliant, which I thought was strange, almost like not a dreamlike state or a trance, but like it was way too casual for me at the time to be seeing that happen.
Well, you're about to have a close encounters of the fifth kind. You're about to meet, allegedly, something non-human. I would be pretty excited and possibly a little bit scared. I can hear your respiration on the video. You're breathing far more quickly than normal, I think.
Right. And so when it was coming down and it finally hits the ground, I'm standing there and I'm looking at it. I'm like, what is that? I didn't have a frame of reference, because I hadn't seen something like that yet. So I'm staring it down and it's staring me down. And then there's also a chicken nearby and we're all staring each other down. Yeah. And it almost looked as surprised to see me as I was to it. So
now, Mike, in that freeze and zoom, you see it looks like some kind of translucent white-blue face, but it's not a human face. It's two black dots for eyes. That looks like a sort of a dot for the mouth, and it's a long ovaloid head.
Is it on the ground or?
So what do you guys make of it?
It's Moloch.
I don't know.
Dude, okay, so here's the thing. Cameras are not like CSI, the TV show, where you can just go enhance, and it makes it more clear. Cameras are, in fact, they kind of, they don't suck, they're good, but it doesn't present a clear image.
No,
you can have a lot of artifacts on screen that will, we as humans are flawed, but when we look at these screens with artifacts on it, we will intuit something that is not there, and that's kind of what I think this is. I don't think you can look at those two black dots up there and go, those are eyes and that's a mouth down there, because this is we're looking at pixels. This is nothing.
Wasn't he also saying later on, like, because I think you're right, and Ross Coulthard is making too much out of nothing.
Yeah.
But when you sort of follow the account of this guy, he says that at some point it appears as a soldier or some kind of knight.
Yeah, and it might be here actually. Yeah, he does say that. He says it has a purple suit or something, and then it holds up.
Like that.
He said it holds up a skull at some point.
And he was, of course, close to it. Like he was actually seeing it, and we're just.
It could also be a pareidolia. So that is not very convincing. I have a better video which I'm gonna ask Nick to play. But before that, I just wanna share recent experiences what I'm having. So last year I was seeing a lot of UFOs. They stopped coming in the sky in February. And then since then, I've been going out every night. I don't see anything. This week, I went out and they reappeared.
They're back.
So there were a lot of them. I was able to shoot 2 videos of them because they are very fast.
Ooh.
Nick, do you want to play the one I just shared on the...
You're in Vancouver, right?
Where did you share?
I'm in Vancouver.
Yeah,
in the group, in our group chat.
Oh,
it's like there are 2 videos. Yeah. So play the second one first, like the 51 second. I mean, open it, but I want to give you a little bit more background on that.
I mean, there's definitely bases on the west coast of North America. So, I mean, Vancouver's got a lot of UFOs. We have a lot of them down here too.
Yeah, but
Especially near us.
the one which I want to discuss, like, it's not like something is just moving. It's appear out of nowhere and disappeared just right in front of my eyes, in the middle of the screen,
For sure.
like in the middle of the sky. So it's not like they are going all the way to the horizon and disappearing.
Right.
No, right in front of me. So play the second one. If you have a bright show,
Whoa.
do you see one dot moving in the middle of the sky?
In the middle, right?
Yep.
Yeah, just keep looking at that right now. And then another dot appears on the top of the, like, little bit on the top.
You can see 3 of them.
That thing's high up.
Yeah. So this one is
Four.
That's clearly a
and
balloon.
then another appeared.
Obviously.
On the left side,
Okay.
and then
gas.
disappear. A bit. So this one will disappear, but another one just appear and disappear in that. So go to around 28 seconds.
Okay, wait.
What time was this at?
Around 9:30. Go to
wow,
28
look at
seconds. Yeah. See appear one light
Mm-hmm.
and then disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this area. So play that
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, and there's no clear trajectory right there. Oh wow.
And then disappear. So this is what happening. They come out of nowhere and disappear. And then this one, which we were tracking, this also disappeared.
You want me to play the other
And
one?
this is like right in front of my head.
That is crazy, man.
Where do you live?
Vancouver.
Yeah. What's your street address?
Yeah, exactly.
You're also in crypto, right?
So yeah. So one thing, I am seeing them a lot. So I saw them constantly for 3 days, and then last night and day before last night I didn't see any. So it's not like that's like a regular phenomena. It appeared out of nowhere at the random time. So I'm spending like hours, like couple
Yeah, too much
hours
time
every
to it.
night from to 10:30, and then sometimes I'm able to capture. This is another one which is like it appears out of nowhere in my eyes. I wasn't able to record that because like first I had to see to record something, right? So and then it start moving, so I start recording, and then it also disappear in the middle. So the other one is I can easily you can
That's
see
a plane
there.
flying by.
Yeah, but nearby.
Right.
And then the dot
Right,
is
right. No, I
just like
understand.
keep looking at the dot. Yeah. And it disappeared.
That's gone.
Yeah. So and it's not like going on the horizon, it's right above my head. Nothing disappears in like at the maximum exposure, because when you're looking right above your sky, it's like the maximum light and maximum exposure. So it just disappears. And all the UFOs which I see, I'm just calling them UFO. I don't know what they are. That's why
it's
I'm
literally
calling them
accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
UFO. So they always appear from one part out of nowhere and goes to this area and disappear. My assumption is there is some kind of portal over there, which so they come from another portal and go to another portal, and in between we see
But this was also, what Bledsoe was talking about, like that these orbs keep appearing all over the world in order.
but again, the camera quality is so bad, right? So they are not orbs. They look exactly like a star.
It does look like a star.
Most people don't even recognize it if you're not paying attention, because they come out of nowhere and disappear.
Yeah.
One weird phenomena which I wasn't able to record, it was like I was looking up in the sky on the hill.
I mean, the fact that you were
and like there was a light burst.
The fact that you were able to record those is incredible in and of itself.
Yeah, somehow like I just get a feeling that it's about to happen, so I take my camera out most of the time. Not all the time, but sometimes. It's like weird feeling, like gut feeling.
Yeah, that tracks.
It's not like any spiritual thing. It's just a good feeling.
That's actually.
But the one thing which I wasn't able to record It was like it was a black sky, nothing over there. Suddenly something sparked in the sky. It sparked like a bright star, brighter than Venus, like 2 or 3 Venus.
Wow.
If you combine 2 or 3 Venus, like it was that bright. And then within 10 seconds it just like disappeared. It was at one place, it just appeared out of nowhere. It was so bright then that I was shocked, like what the hell is that? And then it was less than 10 seconds, it disappeared. I was trying to shoot it. By the time I put my hand in my pocket,
It
take
was
my camera
gone.
out, it was
Yeah,
gone.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
feeling that you get before seeing the lights, the UFOs, I mean, that's really common amongst people who who report UFO sightings. I mean, that's something that I have experience with, and I think Adam, you had a sighting recently where it was kind of the same thing, right? Like something made you turn your head up.
Well, yes. We were talking about it. So I was, and it's weird because you mentioned that guy that used to just bring in UFOs, right? He used to always pray to Yahweh, right?
Mm-hmm.
That word. And I remember I was outside, and I didn't just say Yahweh, but I said I was asking to see them, right? And I was saying, all right, so who should I pray to? And I've never mentioned Yahweh before, but I did at that time. About 5 minutes later, I was outside and I looked up by accident. I seriously looked up and I just see this tic tac, no noise, nothing, just go right by, right over me. And I told Topher about this, and I remember it was like fuzzy.
And he said, don't tell anyone. So I revealed it here on this podcast.
But yeah, I mean, there is some feelings that come in when either these things are interested in us or when they're around our consciousness. It's like when someone's staring at you from a distance behind you, and you look back and you're looking right at them.
No, I mean, it's real. It's something I've brought up on our show many times. I think humans, I think once upon a time, maybe not full psychic or whatever, but we have, whatever they call the gut feeling or the sixth sense, where something's going to go wrong, or someone's looking at you, or someone's talking about you. We have that high level, I don't even know how to explain it, level of consciousness, that we understand that. And it's the same thing for whatever reason with UFOs. People always talk about, they go, yeah, I felt something weird and I looked up, and just like Sid was saying, like I felt something, or you were saying you felt them before you saw them, right?
Right.
Did you guys see the interview with Jesse and Gallaudet, Admiral Gallaudet?
And yes, that was a while ago, right? A couple months ago, maybe.
Yeah. No, that feels like a couple of months ago, but I think it was like a few weeks ago, actually.
So Gallaudet was on Jesse Michael's show.
No, Denny show.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah. I mean, I like Gallaudet. He's a good guy, but he's not. He said he's not read in, but still, he was an admiral. He was in charge of NOAA, so he knows a lot of things.
But in that show, they actually talk about exactly this what you're talking about. Like they have like 15 minutes or 20 minutes that they talk about psionics, but also about these gut feelings. And even Gallaudet even makes the remark that he thinks that some of these temples and ancient structures were created and moved with telepathy, or telekinesis.
He said that. Whoa!
He makes that remark, and he's in the know, right? I mean, he's read in, like, so he's dropping that in that show. And at the same time, I actually talked to you about that in the DM, Adam. Like, what I often notice in this space, in the UAP space, is that you got this sort of orchestration, and then when something drops, then you get like 2 or 3 other people talking about the same thing, sort of echoing and reinforcing each other, like that we're sort of following the breadcrumbs. And I think also we're bombarded with information, like so we as podcasters are sort of forced in order to keep up with actuality, because if you're starting to talk about something that's 3 months old, everybody will tune out. So you're forced you're forced to follow the lead wherever it goes. Like, so we're actually being led by the nose in order to keep up. Like that's I think what's happening here.
That's a good observation. Yeah.
But so basically, he's already sort of suggesting what is gonna happen. What's gonna be released. And I think another thing with the material, everybody was complaining like, why, like 10 years ago, everybody was complaining like, why is nobody coming out and talking about this? And then suddenly a lot of people started coming out and talking about it. And then people are complaining like, they're just talking about it, but they're not showing us anything.
I know. People are never happy, man. They're never
and now
happy.
They're starting to show us things. But I think it had to go like that, because if you first show stuff and people are not just there yet, then you're throwing pearls for swine, right? Because they aren't ready yet for the visual material. But first you have to talk them into it, and to create sort of this framework so that they can actually understand and appreciate what they're gonna see when they finally release it. So I think they're actually building up through a sort of orchestration to the final release, which will, be somewhere next year or the year after, or maybe 2030, because that's an important date, of course. But I think but at the same time, because I also want to talk about Project Bluebeam, of course, is at the same time, you also see a lot of stuff happening in archaeology, right? There's an archaeological revolution going on right in front of us. Like, the structures that are found under the Giza Plateau, the Project Unity is probably also funded by Thiel, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. But there are also structures under the Labyrinth, which is also in Egypt, and some other places. And Project Unity did some really cool stuff on ancient technologies, a 3-part series with this guy who runs his own YouTube, The Land of Chem.
Land of Chem. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, because actually it means like chemistry, right? And
right.
They have these. Basically, what he's saying is the pyramids and these structures are refineries and huge technological centers, like laboratories and all those kind of. They're not temples, or at least they're maybe also temples, but they're also refineries, laboratories.
Power stations.
Power stations, yeah. So that's but the point is like once this is revealed, like one of the tenets or one of the 4 pillars of Project Bluebeam is actually that our understanding of religion and ancient history has to be shaken to the core in order for us to become open to a new interpretation, right? We sort of everything that we've learned has to be taken down, right? It has
right.
To be...
Yeah. Or they'll just follow it as a script. For believers, I think Project Bluebeam though it would be specific for each region or for each person, right? Like for some people it showed Jesus, for some people it showed Buddha, for some people it showed Muhammad, right? Like that was the original Project Bluebeam thing.
I got an overview here. I'll read it to you guys.
Nice. Yeah, I remember that guy. He was a Canadian from Montreal, journalist.
Yeah, so his name, well, I'll read the whole thing. So the Canadian journalist Serge Monast from 1994 claiming that NASA and the United Nations are orchestrating a multi-phase psychological operation to dismantle traditional religions, simulate divine or extraterrestrial events using advanced technology like holograms and mind control waves, and ultimately impose a totalitarian new world order and a new global religion. And that's an interesting detail. Monast detailed this in his writings. Now, and then you got the 4 phases. So the first phase is an engineered earthquake and hoax discoveries. Artificially induced earthquakes and other disasters will be used to uncover fabricated archaeological evidence that discredits the foundational doctrines of major religions, especially Abrahamic ones like Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, sowing doubt and paving the way for a new unified belief. Mm-hmm. And then the second phase is a gigantic space show with holograms. Advanced satellite-based holographic projections would create massive sky-filling images of religious figures, such as Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna, tailored to different religions. These figures would speak in local languages, then merge into a single entity representing the Antichrist, or Peter Thiel, promoting the New Age religion.
Imagine his sweaty face in the sky.
And then phase 3.
Why is the Antichrist so sweaty?
Yeah, he's not very articulate either.
Well, because he knows he's lying, right? So he's
right, yeah.
The telepathic electronic communication using low-frequency radio waves, ELF and VLF signals, and satellites. The operation would simulate direct telepathic communication from deities or higher beings to individuals' minds, convincing people that their God is guiding them toward the new global order and further eroding resistance. And then the final phase is the supernatural manifestation and fake invasion, where also sort of the nuclear thing plays a part. This phase involves staging a fake extraterrestrial threat or alien invasion, along with simulated raptures or demonic events via electronic means and implanted microchips activated through consumer devices. The ensuing chaos would justify the imposition of a one-world government phasing out national sovereignty, cash economies, and individual freedoms in favor of
Yeah. It sounds like the Messianic era for sure. I mean, I guess the only thing I'll disagree with is the whole that they want to get rid of major religions, especially Abrahamic. I think they want to keep those because the fear of UFO disclosure has always been, well, it's going to destroy religion. That was always one of the first things.
Comes up.
Yeah. I think they want to sort of retailer it, like they want to keep certain elements.
No, they want to keep it exactly the way it is because the prophecies on those religion are very beneficial for them. So they want to replicate those prophecies. One thing I want to correct regarding his theory that he said like Muslims see Muhammad. No, Muslims also see Jesus because Jesus is like the center figure.
Yeah, he's the Messiah in
Muslims
Islam,
and Christians.
He's
both
the Messiah.
it's like he's the Messiah. Yeah, also like they don't depict Muhammad's. Nobody have seen Prophet Muhammad, right? It's also not allowed to depict his picture. But yeah, Jesus is the Messiah, and like when you project Jesus on the sky, it will 4 billion people on earth, like Muslims, all the Muslims and all the Christians, accept that because they all believe in the same Jesus, like same Messiah.
But also I think they uncover fabricated archaeological evidence. I also disagree with that because I don't think it is fabricated. It's actually real and ancient, but it will take the foundation of.
Some of them can be fake, right? It's not like all of that, but some of that to just tailor the.
I do want to. I don't believe what I'm going to say, but I just want to bring this up as like a devil's advocate thing in terms of the fabricated archaeological evidence. Maybe some people will look at Göbekli Tepe or a lot of the stuff that Hancock is bringing up. In his Ancient Apocalypse series on Netflix. That is going to be. That will be twisted and turned as like, look at all this fake stuff that this guy is bringing up. Like I said, I don't believe it's fake, but I think it could be twisted in a manner that it kind of already is. I mean, everything you look about, read up about John Hancock, if you like Google him, it's going to be like hoax. All this stuff is going to show that, try and portray him as some sort of I don't know, grifter or whatever. So I could see that being put in that way. Whereas
also they called Graham Hancock as a racist. That was like really.
He's a right wing. He's a white supremacist.
I just got pissed at
right.
Yeah, he married to a like colored woman. Like that's so weird. Like, why you even come up with this kind of shit? I think his wife is Indian or something.
All these right wing activists who married women of color, they're clearly Nazis. They're just getting really deep in there in more ways than one.
That's what happens when they don't like if you're challenging the narrative. It's always the go-to. Well, he's a racist, right? I mean, that's they do it. They do it with everything. Look at Charlie Kirk. They're calling everyone racist for asking very valid questions.
So maybe he's so racist that he wants to dominate a woman, like in the relationship.
Oh, that's a nice angle there. But going back to this, the using low frequency radio waves. I mean, this is scary because especially with AI coming in and understanding our behaviors and our thoughts and our beliefs, they could tailor these holographs to each person.
I mean,
to convince them.
It gets even weirder than that. I mean, we know our phones are listening to us. They're starting to show. I keep seeing articles about our TVs are now listening to us and all this other stuff, and they're talking about the radio waves going the other way. Why not?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But why are our viewers not listening?
I mean, I guess what would be our advice? Our advice would be to have a solid personal internal foundation, right? Really understand your voice and your beliefs, and that's really the only way you can protect yourself against something like this.
But it's also interesting, right? Because they're talking about telepathic electronic communication. So
right.
At the same time, what we're now discovering is that there's also like real telepathy and probably some other features. And what
Hell,
we
the
talked
CIA
about
spent a lot of time and money researching telepathy in the 60s and 70s.
Project Stargate,
and they're probably still doing it, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
And so many UFO encounters, like all this, like every single point can go back to the UFO phenomenon, right? Like what people experience with UFOs. People have said that they've seen 3D holographic images of Earth or of the past, telepathic communications. Also, like that the aliens or the NHI would know the question before they even finished asking it, or they'll answer them before they finish the question. Stuff like that. So.
Yeah, like
but then it's also interesting, right? Because I was sort of thinking about something that Sid said in our previous conversation, and I was sort of saying like we went from globalization to deglobalization, and after sort of COVID failed, because there was a clear push to sort of for a one world government through COVID, in my opinion, which was why we were banned on YouTube and X by talking about
for
it.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
But, and then we moved to deglobalization because there was, in my opinion, a fallout. But Sid made the point, like maybe it was sort of planned, like they just moved from A to B, like it was already it was all staged. And then that made me sort of think about phase 3, like telepathic electronic communication, like because what did they actually do with COVID? They injected us with.
Yes, they did.
So a large chunk of the population might now be susceptible to phase 3 of Project Bluebeam, and they finished that phase because there was too much resistance, and they got enough of the population injected.
Yeah,
and they could now move on to phase 4.
Yeah, that's why. By the way, I always keep my camera on just to make sure that it's not just I'm imagining it. It's a real phenomena. That's why I am able to record videos. But whenever I see something, I just take my camera out, because even if I am imagining something, if it is very by the video, it means it's a real thing.
That actually,
because like I'm very
I have the man. Well, you just validated my fears. I have the same fear where I go, am I really seeing this? Is this really happening? Or am I really having this conversation? And I wish I could like verify that it is being real. So now I'm even more scared. Thank you.
Yeah, but again, because of my psychedelic experience, I know like sometimes I can see things. So that's why I like keep my camera on, like ready. So whenever I see something, my first instinct is to take my camera on and just see it on the screen. So it's like, maybe something isn't like a COVID vaccine in my bloodstream doing something. But if it's on the camera, it means it's not that just fear of that. It's a real phenomena out there.
And then what we just talked about with if televisions are not only listening but maybe also sending out something to us, or
messages.
Us.
Yes, subliminal messages. They could if they want. I don't think there's any laws against that.
So what if the vaccine or whatever it was that they injected into people also takes advantage of the sort of telepathic abilities that people have, the innate telepathic abilities that they have, in order to use them in some sort of way, instead of just controlling people, that they're actually extracting something from people through the injection, right, that they can use.
Yeah, I mean they found graphene graphene structures in there which react to electromagnetic fields. So there's something really weird in those shots, that's for sure.
Yeah,
it's DARPA technology that's in there.
Yeah, because it's like a brain machine interface, like a BMI, and there was a lot of stuff also going on with researchers of BMI researchers that got kidnapped, and there was a lot of strange stuff going on in that sense. So
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe it's sort of like a very advanced, highly advanced BMI system that they injected into people, like, or at least maybe it's a feature of the injection. And I'm of course, to everybody listening, this is pure speculation, right?
Totally speculation.
Probably just a real vaccine, and it was.
Yeah, I mean, COVID was so bad that RFK Jr. is now heading our HHS. That's how bad COVID was. We have an anti-vaxxer at the head of it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, those were dark times. But yeah, I mean, I wrote articles back then that got taken off of Facebook. I was in 2020, and I had theories back then because they were pushing disclosure at the same time, right? And I thought some deal was going on where, fine, we'll release this technology and all this information, if you guys are all vaccinated, which means if you try to get into one of these ships and leave the planet, we're killing you remotely.
And I think with Bitcoin and crypto, I think because it can be perverted and used as a weapon, right, to subject people, which is what they're gonna do, and and also to get rid of the debt and reboot the system. So it can be used for evil purposes, but my conjecture has always been that they want to create this straitjacket around people, and once everybody is in a straitjacket and they can't move and they have to obey, then we will tell them the truth, because then they don't no longer form a threat.
Exactly.
Right there with you.
Right. Yeah, me too. Man, so I mean, so you think Bitcoin can be used for this agenda? Bitcoin is not programmable, right? It's not like these.
No.
Okay.
All
right.
No, but it can be used and it will be used as a base. It's already used as a base layer for a control system. You could build a control system on top of it if you wanted to, and that's ideal, because the control system will be digital, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
So you need a digital base layer in order to build on top of that. Bitcoin itself could also be used for good. If people actually sort of used it and understood it, it's already sort of rewiring the energy system of planet Earth in a positive way and cleaning up the planet. But you can actually build a control system on top of Bitcoin, and through stable coins, CBDCs, you can make that all interoperable and use it to. I actually wanted to share that, right? The stuff that happened in Vietnam and in Thailand recently.
Vietnam, they shut down 68 million accounts, right, for not being compliant with.
That was actually that was Vietnam. Wait, I'll pull it up. Here we go. I'll read it out. So earlier this month, on September 1st to be exact, Vietnam initiated the closure of over 86 million bank accounts across the country due to the owners of those accounts being out of compliance with the biometric laws that went into effect.
Oh, God.
The law stipulates that account holders must get their fingerprints or faces scanned as a verification method for their accounts. The Vietnamese government is rolling out the predictable marketing narrative for this type of invasion of privacy. It's to prevent fraud and support the push to modernize their banking system so that they can lean into a cashless payment as hard as possible. You'll be able to walk out of the store without having to pull a debit card, credit card, or phone card. We'll just scan your face or finger, and you'll walk out without a hassle.
Yeah. You don't have to pull out your credit card, but you do have to give them your soul. That's right. That's
literally what it is. That's literally.
That's a good deal.
It's like the mark. It's like the mark of the beast kind of thing.
Yeah, totally.
Crazy how those just line up. Those prophecies. It's nuts.
And this one is from Thailand. So
they did it too. Damn.
Oh my God.
3 million accounts, and they set daily transfer limits of 50,000 to 200,000 baht. So because people don't realize what you can do with CBDCs or stablecoins. It's like, not only can you sort of shut someone's account off if you don't like them, and of course that will go in real time based on the credit score that they're keeping of you.
Yep.
But you can also set a limit of where you can spend it, on what you can spend it, how long you can spend it, with whom you can spend it.
This is so crazy. Like, if you think about it, Western civilization, or at least modern Western civilization, what's the foundation of it? Property rights. And the founders of the United States, they came from Europe, so they came with these thoughts over here. they that's what they base the Constitution on is property rights, and income is your property, right? Like no one can say, well, you can't use it here, you can't use it if your speech is not aligned with ours. It's just insane to even just think about that can be implemented.
Yeah. Also, speaking of this facial recognition system, there's like a coin called WorldCoin. Do you guys know?
No.
Sam Altman released that. That was a test project where you have to scan your face, and they were giving 25 WorldCoin to do the biometrics in New York and few other cities, and people were just flocking towards it just to get 25 WorldCoin. And 25 WorldCoin was like 50 bucks.
And that's something that
at that time
we often have like shows on cybersecurity, and Graham de Penrose is like number 16 in cybersecurity worldwide, and he pointed out in a couple of the videos that people are just selling all of their information, like also biomedical information, like just for a handful of crypto, right? So these crypto and AI companies are actually using it in order for people to, sell all their, basically their soul for a handful of crypto, which then gets devalued or, disappears. So
I mean, it's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate that people don't understand the value of privacy and how important it is, to society. Just sell that for a few bucks is insane.
Such a shame. Yeah, no people. I mean, overall, what half of people are less than average intelligence, right?
Yeah, I mean,
but and on top of that, people are getting in more and more desperate waters because of they're blowing up the system on purpose, in my opinion.
That's true.
So people, they're fighting to keep their head above water, so they're selling their soul in order to do that, right?
So sad. Some people were not even fighting for their bills. They were just doing stupid shit like 23andMe. A lot of people just giving their DNA to Israeli company to check their DNA. While DNA testing is banned in Israel, people in North America were just sending their DNA samples. They created a data bank, and then
I think it's banned in Israel because it'll just show that they're from Europe and not from Israel.
Exactly. But
this is the point. Like, why do you think because you got a lot of these hereditary projects that you can sort of find out who were your great grandparents and stuff? You got a lot of that stuff going on. Like, what do you think that's about?
They're definitely mining
gathering data.
Yeah. They're gathering data, and when COVID came out, and there was a press release. The Israelis were working on this is in the 80s or 90s. They were working on a weapon that targeted certain genes, because they wanted to target the Palestinians, and that was in the 80s or 90s. So I wouldn't be surprised if they can use this data for bioweapons to target specific populations, specific.
But do you think they might also be looking for certain lineages
and aliens? Probably, yeah.
I don't think they're looking for certain lineages because they are not testing on their own people. So if they would be looking in their own group. So it's just they're gathering data as much as possible so they can create bioweapons.
But I think maybe in their own group they already know the lineages. But
they want to clone people. That's a conspiracy head. Like they get your DNA and then they create a clone out of it.
Well, I think they already have clone armies. But
I'm definitely safe there. No one would ever want two of me or more on this planet. So, thank God.
That's what you think, Topher. Wait, this is really you, right?
Yeah, I'm going to start a 1,000 other podcasts with my clone. You guys won't be able to stop me.
You can now do like the digital avatars, right? That will be like a digital twin of yourself that can hold podcasts while you're doing something else, right?
Yeah, I mean, and it actually, now that you say that it gets a little bit more sinister. I mean, I know one of the new things that's coming out is technology that allows you to talk to your dead relatives, right? Using AI, and so if you have the AI, you have the DNA. I mean, cloning, digital or not too far off the table.
Yeah, and I think I coined the term blockchain babies. So I think the blockchain is also very good at keeping track of property of this, let's say property of the state, like babies that are born or cloned or whatever. You can inject them with RFID chips, or maybe just maybe you don't even need that. Maybe just a vaccine, and you keep track of your property. Like basically what they're creating is a new slave system. And we'll be the resources or the build, so that they're gonna, human resource management is gonna get a real new connotation in the future.
Yeah, didn't Microsoft create a patent where if you work a certain amount of hours, it will generate Bitcoin or cryptocurrency based on the activity?
Yeah, you can actually clear wearables, but I think you can actually inject it under the skin, and then the amount of work, like proof of work, like the amount of work and sweat you do, can be generated into crypto, and of course keep track of your activities, and there's also like these BMI, this is brain machine interfaces that can actually also monitor your thoughts, right? And in China, they can already sort of steer particular weapon systems with their mind through a BMI interface, like sort of like a neural link, a non-invasive neural link.
Right. Right. I mean, I did a deep dive into this because I was worried, like, can they really insert thoughts into us? I remember going and read a lot of journals, a lot of these guys, these researchers who were doing it, basically, or whatever we have now, these BMIs, we still need to train them, right, to read our thoughts. So it'll be like, all right, think left. So then you think left, and it notices your brain, how your brain is reacting, and then that means go left, and then go right, and whatever. So you have to train it. And then these researchers said there's no writing ability to the brain. So it can read from training, but it can't write to your brain. So at least it was like that a few years ago. Probably.
Yeah, I think Donald Hoffman also pointed that out, because he keeps challenging neuroscientists, and they say, like, point to me the particular part of the brain that says chocolate, or what is there a specific part of the brain that actually corresponds to a specific thought or ID, and so far they have not been able to pinpoint any of that.
So how are these NHIs doing it then in these experiences they are placing thoughts into people?
Yeah, but I think if you read the book A New Science of Heaven from Robert Temple, and this sort of the plasma, and it seems to be the case, and I think Ashton Forbes also speaks to that, is that we have this field around us which stretches for, I think I forgot the exact, like 6 feet or something.
Yeah, our heart creates it.
Yeah, I know that, and maybe that's also the distance that we had to keep from COVID, right? But
the 6 feet, yeah.
But that's sort of how that you can actually be in somebody's field and sort of get to know him or her and gouge him. But that's actually sort of our brain is sort of an antenna that taps into that field, and that field is connected to other fields.
Yes.
And apparently there's actually 2 gigantic fields just between the Earth and the Moon. That Robert Temple actually speaks about a 2-cloud system with an Earth and a Moon in it. And those 2 plasma fields that sort of are in space, he compares that, because of the complexity and the research that he shows in the book, which is not like his own ideas, but it's actually the work from the Naval Intelligence Office and others that have been doing a lot of research into plasma weapon systems and that kind of stuff. That it's like a gigantic supercomputer, which is like 1,000 or 1,000,000 times more advanced than the quantum computers that that are being developed right now, and that that they have no idea what it is and how it works, but some kind of electrified plasma field.
I mean, it is a plasma universe. We live in a plasma universe. Everything is electric. Everything is about light. Even matter, right, comes from light. It's decayed light.
Yeah, and I think that's also why they want to block out the sun, right, with this
spraying,
like that we're getting disconnected from these fields.
Have you guys ever heard of Hadibov? He's now deceased, but he was a Russian researcher. Out of Russia, most of the stuff is still in Russian. They have translated some of it.
I think Robert Temple actually refers to him.
Yeah. So I mean, he says that that these spider-like beings took over our solar system, like thousands of years ago, and the sun and moon and Earth are a system, and that the programs come from the sun, and it can generate different weather patterns and even affects genetics and populations. Like some civilizations will go up, some will go down. So basically, that it's all like a computer program that we're living in. And he had a lot of proof. He was in universities, like universities were studying this stuff. A lot of it's still in Russian.
And the Russians are really open when it comes to UAPs and Bigfoot. And do you guys know David Paulides?
Yeah, of course. He did Bigfoot, right? And missing 411. He did that guy.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He actually also collected a lot of DNA samples, and they tested, the DNA samples.
Yeah.
And the researcher, the lady that connected to David Paulides to do the research, she was, destroyed and ridiculed, and her career basically ended. But she, they actually sent those samples that they collected to multiple universities without telling them what they had, in order, of course, to make it real, of course, because you need to blindly test it. But what came back from those results was that because you got like a male and a female variant in the DNA, that the female part was traced back to Mesopotamia, like 2,000 or 3,000 years ago.
It was human, half human.
And the other half, there's nothing on Earth that they could, in their databanks, that they could relate it to.
Right. Yeah. So basically, that Bigfoot has human DNA in it, and those are hairs they took, right, and sent it to get tested.
Yeah, and those hairs are also unique. He did like a 12-part series, which is extremely good. And in one of those episodes, he goes into the DNA part. I linked it to my alternative account, Mujina, and at the top it's there. And those hair samples are super unique. And then there's, I think, Coast to Coast did also some interviews with the lady that was connected to and she was like one of the top researchers in her field when it came to DNA research. So you just was not just anyone, but like
right. I mean, that is an amazing find. And even these grays, they say they have human DNA in them as well. So there's something about human DNA, and whoever is like messing and creating different species, and maybe it's the connection to the source is our DNA, why they keep using it.
I think with the grays, I think Area 52, right? I forgot his name, but
was it Chris Ramsey? Yeah.
And I think you also linked a really cool video from him, by the way. But he did one of those. He does those readouts sometimes of files, which are really cool. And then one of those readouts that he did was about alien DNA. And that somebody on Reddit or wherever claimed that he or she was a researcher, like a DNA researcher.
Oh yeah, we covered that one, Topher. It's a really long one.
We did.
Yeah, I remember that.
Super interesting, but the claims were that those grays were perfect in their DNA structure, and that there was no filling or junk DNA. Yeah. And so maybe you're right. Like they need us exactly for the junk, like the evolutionary junk that we gather, and that makes us unique in order to refresh their.
Many writers have said that's what Earth is in general, is that it is like a zoo to keep genetic material, natural genetic material that can be used once something's corrupted.
Yeah, I mean, it explains all of the weird breeding experiments the Greys seem to have.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Also, regarding human DNA, humans share 98% of their DNAs with pigs.
Right?
So
Yes.
this is like a common DNA. Yeah. So it's not like, they found human DNA in grays. Yeah, but all DNAs are similar. Like human and pigs are so different, but they share 98%
It
of
makes
data.
you think about why it's not kosher or it's haram, right? I mean, it's because it's like you're eating because you're eating a human. You know, once I told you guys I was in Iraq before, so I've smelt death, right? Like human death. I've smelt it before, and I always remember that because we were driving behind cars even that had dead bodies in them. So I remember this smell. And one time, someone cooked in the house some it was really bad bacon. And I'm like, holy shit, that smells exactly like the death. And it completely messed with my head. And I couldn't eat bacon for, I think it was like years. And even now, I can't have it as much. But it brought back, I'm like, oh, that's why then. It's not because they're dirty animals. I think because they knew that, they're very close to humans and we should not be eating them.
Oh, man, you're making me hungry.
Yeah. Also, pigs are very intelligent.
Yeah,
they are.
They're smarter than dogs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but I mean, we use their hearts, right, and their livers and transplants.
Yeah,
super bizarre.
But what I actually wanted to say about the whole David Paulides side got a bit sidetracked. But basically, David Paulides was approached by a Russian scientist, and they said, yeah, everything you say is true. We sort of reached the same conclusions like years ago. And then he was like, what? Like, all the sort of American scientists are, ridiculing him and ignoring him and vilifying him. And then, these Russian scientists are like super open and sort of just speaking. So, yeah, that's true. Like, that's like we find the same things over here.
Imagine the Soviets are having much more open discussions about these things than us. I mean, going back to Hadibov, he said that the moon is an artificial construct and it was put here to monitor Earth. And I mean, his theories are just crazy. And I did use ChatGPT to go into like the Russian websites and translate a lot of his stuff. And I do have a lot of stuff. I might put it in some articles on Substack. Crazy.
Also, moon itself is very weird. It's like they have tested it. It's a hollow thing inside.
Yeah.
So usually all the celestial bodies are not hollow, but moon is. And they tested it. NASA tested it. So it's not like kooky theory. And also there are like some tribes in Africa or somewhere. They have like a history without the moon, where there was no moon. And moon appeared.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about DNA differences, but I actually wanted to play this video. It sort of connects to what we talked about last time.
This is Greer. This is Greer, right?
Yeah, this is about the Atacama humanoid. So I'm
that small one.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I think about here.
Now, this is on a computerized run at the best lab in the world out of Stanford, and it was checked 3 times. 9%. Now, is that all computer? This beam has, on the Huffington Post, but also in a number of other minor news outlets, about the genetic report. I want to be very careful. Number one, keep this number in mind. A Neanderthal is 99.5% genetically identical to everyone in this room. Okay, the chimpanzee and the great apes, 96 to 97 or more % identical genetically. This being has a big match to human genome, but it's an upright creature with a very large cranial vault, 3 times the size of our cranial vault from the eyes up. So we would expect a lot of the operative genes, if it was in this 3D dimension and it's a humanoid, to have some match. What's unusual, although nothing can be concluded yet from it, is that 9% of the genetic material is, quote, unmatching. Now, this is on a computerized run at the best lab in the world out of Stanford, and it was checked 3 times. 9%. Now, is that all computer read error? Maybe. Is it all what's called DNA junk? Perhaps. We don't know. It's going to take years to go through what the computer kicked out into the trash can of unmatched DNA to figure out what is in there. Dr. Nolan, the Stanford head of the team, doesn't know. I don't know. What we know is this. It's going to take years at least, if we're lucky, a year or two, to go through that, because it's 2 million base pairs of genetic material unmatched. Now, if you were dealing with my DNA or yours, and you had a lot of unmatching, you just leave it alone, because we know we're just humans. And it's just like, well, it was a computer error, or it's this or that. But when you have something that looks like that, what you have is something that cannot just be tossed away. Because so far, and this is something I want you to listen to extremely carefully, the genes that control for progeria, advanced aging, or dwarfism are showing no mutations.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 6-inch, 6 to 8-year-old. Get it?
6-inch, 68-year-old?
There. Now, once the geneticists say human, use the word human, the media that aren't well-versed in genetic research say, oh, well, case closed. Case is just starting. It has just begun. And I can tell you that it may be years before we get an answer on this. We have to do probably a year or 2 or 3 of research. And I'll remind people that the Human Genome Project cost billions of dollars and took 10 years and thousands of scientists. We're just going into something that's basically an unknown.
I'll stop it there. But yeah, that was a 6 or 7 year old being. And the media, like he rightly points out, and we talked about it last time in the show, on your show, that each time there's like a big revelation or something that could really shake people up, like, you know, the Peruvian mummies, or, you know, the thing with Eric Davis, or this one, that they have this sleight of hand that sort of tricks people, and then they tune out, like, you know, like because it's sort of, they said it's human, then people say, okay, it's human, like, you know, nothing to do here. It's Stephen Greer, right? And with the Peruvian mummies, you got this guy who puts some stuff together like a puppet, and then, you know, the media fixates on that, and then they say, oh, there's nothing, like it was just a puppet. And, you know, with Eric Davis, then, you know, Louis Elizondo pulls, you know,
that fake picture.
Yeah, so each time there's like something that could really wake people up or blow people's minds, then they have this sort of sleight of hand, this sort of trick that they play, and then
people are worried about that video that came out during the congressional hearing, that it could be a balloon or it's fake, you know, for that reason, to just disqualify everything that was said there.
Yeah,
I'm still flabbergasted by that video. I have never seen. I don't. I admit that I don't know how missiles work, but the fact that the missile hit it and kind of just bounced off, but also created 3 other UAPs tailing the thing. None of that video makes any sense to me.
I mean, I think if it is a crowd, then it's in a plasma shield, right? Those 3 objects were being protected in a plasma shield,
like
and the missile, right, and the missile punctured it somehow, and these 3 things came out.
Yeah, but it didn't explode. Isn't that how missiles work? Once the tip hits something.
Yeah, this was the weird part.
Not the Hellfire. The Hellfire doesn't explode, apparently.
Okay.
That's what they say. Yeah.
No, I think it does, because I've seen Hellfire destroying stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen the video.
Yeah, so I mean, if it is going through a plasma shield, it's not going to really get impacted to explode, if that's the case.
But it definitely hits it, because it changes, like the course of it is affected by whatever it quote unquote hits or not hits. You know what I mean?
Yes, right. But it's not a solid object.
Yeah, but if it's it's a plasma, it's not solid. So I think it is giving some resistance, but not like exploding.
Right. It still impacted something, because the course of the missile changed. I don't know. Again, I don't know how missiles work.
But plasma is not solid, right? Oh, here it is. Yeah, Merrick, he's great.
I don't think they're saying what this is what this is. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't think this is a Hellfire missile hitting the thing.
I don't think they.
Leto thinks it's a balloon, and he's had over 2,000 hours, and it's just weird that he would say, and other people are saying, "Oh, we don't get more of it." Now watch, it continues. It doesn't descend. Watch, he's gonna zoom out, and it continues. Oh no, where is it? There it is. See, it continues.
This is when it's
like.
So you can still
it's not
see
descending.
it traveling.
But this is the thing. The thing that makes the most sense to me in this video is the UAP. Like, I get it. Like, it spits out whatever the other three are. Like, for whatever reason in my mind, like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I get that. What I don't get is the impacting missile, because it's plasma, whatever, sure. But look, it hits it and essentially bounces off. Do missiles bounce?
Off. I mean, not.
Nope.
I mean, unless they're hitting some electromagnetic field, yeah. Other than that, it should explode.
Right.
There it is. Boom.
Wink.
Look at those three. Yes. And those three objects are exactly alike. It's not debris. Debris, which would be random, right? Just random parts. Right. Those three objects are exactly alike.
Yeah. Plus, if it was debris, it would fall, right? It wouldn't fly at the same speed in a formation following the main blob.
And this is over Yemen, when we were bombing Yemen, and then Trump, abruptly goes, "All right, we're done," and it could be because these objects were around, they're like, "All right, let's get the hell out of here."
Yeah, it is possible.
So I think I read this on Reddit or someplace else, but they think that the three ejectiles are the passengers that have been ejected for quote unquote safety reasons. Of course, that's all speculation, but that's what that comment that kind of stuck in my head.
But I love how they follow them. Look at that. They
hone
in on them.
But you also see, like what Topher says, you see the missile make this really strange wobble after it hits. It makes this wobble, and then it continues its trajectory.
Yeah, I wonder where the missile ended up.
In Qatar.
Yeah, there you go. In Qatar.
Shit. That was better than my joke. I was going to say that missile went back in time and did 9/11.
Close enough. Yeah, and speaking of,
by the way, regarding Yemen, there's a religious aspect to it. Like there's like not a prophecy, but like there's like a religious text that Yemen is protected by the angels, and there's like a whole prophecy. I don't want to go deep into it.
A fire will come out of Yemen or something, right? Isn't there?
No, the real the fire one is very weak, but the strong one is the people from Riyadh, the modern day Saudi Arabia, came to Prophet Muhammad and asked to pray for them, and he said, he prayed for Yemen instead of them. They asked 3 times and he kept praying just for Yemen, and after 3 times he said, like, you guys will the actual words are, the horn of the Satan will rise from Riyadh, and I still pray for Yemen to be protected.
That's pretty hectic, man.
So this is the real thing. So that just says, like, they at that time people were calling them angels, like protected by angels, or like in the whole religious mythology. But in real, it could be, and we don't even know what angels are, right?
I mean, we know that
look like.
It could be. Angels follow God's instructions, and they have no free will, basically, right? Yeah,
exactly.
But I mean,
that's what they teach us.
And then and you can see recently Yemen has been attacked by last decade by Saudi Arabia, and like 52 countries were together with Saudi Arabia, and they attacked it, and they still lost.
It's crazy, man.
And then everyone and then now Israel bombing them, nothing can stop them. They are like very protected.
And they keep bombing Israel.
United States ran away for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing something moral, right? They're the only ones trying to protect what's happening to the Palestinians. They're the only ones.
Yeah.
So it is strange. It is
only
strange.
Ones.
I wonder.
Yeah. And then it lead back to the same prophecy, like, why he prayed for them, and everybody's saying, like, that's why, because they are like the only moral
that's crazy,
people out
dude.
there.
Wow. I love how like religion just comes in with everything that's happening, or prophecy. It's weird.
Yeah, but also religion will come more when they build the third temple, and they will destroy. They will not completely destroy, but they will attack and destroy parts of Mecca.
They want Mecca. There's rabbis who said that Mecca and Medina is theirs, and
and the prophecy is just before Jesus arrived, the Mecca and Medina will be destroyed.
Holy shit!
And then
better get good with Jesus, guys.
Will come and rebuild it. Yeah.
But maybe it has to do with the stone, right? The Kaaba in Mecca, right?
And there's that, yes.
Stone is not that important, by the way. This is the
Yeah, tell us,
misconception.
what is that?
Kaaba has been destroyed, by the way, 12 times.
Yeah, I've read that too, yeah.
And rebuilt. So stone itself is not that important.
What is
and
that stone?
the current figure, the cube, is not even the real shape.
But didn't that
of
stone come from space or something, or some angel brought it, or what's the?
I think there's like a chunk of it is like placed on the whole thing, that cube. There's like a small part of it. You see,
Yeah, a cornerstone.
It's covered by. It's not even the cornerstone. You'll see a silver shelf on the corner, and there are like multiple chunks of the stone. But it came with Adam. It didn't came with Prophet Muhammad or Prophet Abraham.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a sign
Abraham
from
built
God.
it. According. Yeah. No, go ahead.
It was that stone was the sign to humanity after the first sin in Islamic. So in Christianity, the sin was never forgiven. In Islam, it was forgiven, and that stone was the symbol that God forgiven.
Oh, interesting! Wow, very cool. I never.
And then it was led to Abraham. So the original Kaaba was built by Adam to honor the forgiveness. Yeah, and then Abraham, and then it's there since Abraham, but it's been destroyed multiple times. And it's
exactly.
The building itself is not the important. Yeah.
Right. It's just weird that it's a cube. You know, it's weird that it's a cube, because then it goes back to Saturn, and then the Jews wear also the cube on their head, and then some people say that the cross.
The funny part is, it's not cube. Currently it's cube because it was destroyed and rebuilt as a cube, but the actual thing is a rectangle.
A rectangle. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a room.
So if anybody can open a photo, there is like an area which is curved. It's not even actually a rectangle, because the cube, and then there is like an open area. So they didn't build over it because people can go and pray in that area. So, and it will feel like you prayed inside the Kaaba, but it's actually longer, like a rectangle, and the curve at one side. That's the real shape of it. So the people who try to mix it with like that cube of Saturn or Jews, they are wrong in that, because that's not a cube. That everybody knows that, and they just didn't build it properly.
Interesting. Yeah, look at that. And if you are a species that wants to control humanity and their consciousness, you tell all humanity to focus their consciousness on one location. It's like directing it's like directing traffic, like internet traffic somewhere, and you can read what everyone's doing. It's kind of the same thing where if I was a species that wants to control humanity, I'd make them do that.
Yeah. Also, open the fourth photo from the last
the last
one
thing.
If you can enlarge. Yeah. No. Go. This is not even real.
That thing right there.
No. Yeah. Fourth photo from the left side on the last row.
On the last row. Okay. This one.
Yeah. Yeah. Open it. Enlarge.
Yeah. Well.
No. Okay. Second photo. First photo from the second row. Click on that.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It just keeps digging in.
Go back.
Yeah.
Okay. Fourth photo from on the last row.
You mean this one?
No. Go. No.
Can you just search for it? Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna share
because if I click on it, it will go to another window anyway. So work. So just send me the pictures.
Yeah,
because you know what you're looking for. I have no idea. And we can play this clip because that's really cool. It's actually one from Chris Ramsey.
Oh yeah. It's a good
that
one.
shouldn't be easy to fake in 2011. 14 years later, there's still no set photo, no maker, and no clean original tapes. This is one of the most unusual videos I've ever seen. If this was a hoax, it was at the highest level. And if this is real, it was definitely curated. Either way, it is the most convincing alien footage on YouTube, and it has yet to be fully debunked. This unresolved case has been haunting me and plaguing me for years. There's a massive debate online. Some people think it's clearly fake due to some of the things that they've added in posts. And some people, especially the people that have looked further into this, have said, well, let's not jump the gun. Ivan tampered with the original footage by applying various effects, such as damaged film overlay, like this. So Brooklyn Robot on Reddit managed to track down the exact film damage overlay Ivan used. The Shutterstock and the Pond 5, it's exactly the same. You know, here are all the layers. This is so good. That is so cool that they went and did this. I love the internet for that. Today, this is really interesting because now that we have AI video, if I want to mask something to make sure that you don't think it's AI, I might do so by adding in film, blurs and scratches and moire and all of these different tactics, maybe a shaky camera, so that you can't pinpoint whether or not I have 6 fingers on my hand. All the layers that are on the original footage, we can assume to be complete garbage, fake nonsense. I'm with you there. But what about the core? What about the video itself? What about the contents of the video? Are those fake? Well, this is where things get a little more interesting, and pardon the pun, becomes a bit of a gray area. This article written by Noah Raddick in July of 2024 says a skinny bob is not CGI, and by applying a technique known as ELA, this is able to show areas that were edited or inserted in posts, such as a face swapping, objects added, CGI effects, etc. The ELA has some slight outlines, but not enough to prove it was modified. Only a part of his body is outlined with some noise, and not the rest. It's indicative that Skinny Bob has not been modified at all. Folks, are we looking at a real alien here? It's kind of insane. It's kind of intense. But that's what we might be dealing with. Freeze this frame.
Yeah, I mean, we did a deep dive. I think episode 19 or something.
Adam,
I mean, we
to it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we said that it's either real or that the NSA or someone higher level up faked it.
I remember this episode really well. We did, in fact, do a deep dive on Skinny Bob. My conclusion by the end of it was that the footage is fake, but based on real footage. When this footage originally came out, I think
2011.
Was it?
Right? No, it's 97 or something.
Yeah.
97, really?
Yeah.
Wait, YouTube came out in 2004.
No, the video actually. It was uploaded in 2011 on YouTube, but the video was out on VH.
No shit.
97, 98.
All right. Well, that changes a lot.
I mean, I to me, this screams like experimental early CGI. I think I don't think the footage that the U.S. public or the world public sees is real. I think it's based on real footage, and I think it was used as kind of a testing. How do I say this? It was used as a test to see how people would react if this was in fact real. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, even Chris Ramsey says it at the top. He goes, either it was a hoax at the highest level, or it's real, right? And because it just takes so much money to do what they did. I mean, the details in there are incredible when we went through it. I mean, they had stuff from the 1940s, these medical things. They were measuring like his height. That thing was exactly from the time frame that's supposed to be from. Other medical things that were on the trays as well. I mean, there's a site, I think it's called skinnybob.net. They went through everything. I mean, it's really hard to say that it's CGI. It just doesn't work.
And it also looks a lot like the Atacama alien, right?
Yeah, right.
Or humanoid.
Yeah. No, but all gray aliens look like.
Yeah, I mean, if something's going to be walking and talking, it's going to be humanoid.
But I mean, man, that's the thing that gets me is that every time all these, footages come out about the Greys, man, what's the guy? He saw the spaceship in the woods and he killed one of them and he has him in a tarp, like in his house. That's also
that guy. I'm
exactly.
On his name. Yeah, bald head, glasses.
Yes, every time all these people come forward with these videos about the Greys, they don't all look the same. Like the one I was just mentioning, all his grays had very small slitted eyes, like they don't look like Skinny Bob.
No, they're right. They're all unique. Every time one comes out, it's different.
Yeah. Like we have a general idea of what the grays look like: short, big heads, big eyes, gray skin. But they never. Arms. All the videos that come out, they never all look alike.
Right. Yeah.
But maybe these guys, that's the psyop, right? Like, maybe we're getting flooded with these videos to make us question, about the grays. I don't know.
Nick, did I send you that new? Did I send you that new leaked footage from Roswell, the National Archives?
Yeah. Well, I'll click this one away. This one is actually the one.
So wait, Topher, this looks like that guy you're talking about with the small slit eyes.
And this actually was a post on Reddit. So that guy that I was talking about, he said the aliens all had 5 fingers. The Pterodactyls or 3 from Brazil, they only have 3 fingers. So once again, we're at this point where it's like we have a similar structure, but it's not quite the same.
Right. Yeah.
And how do we know that they all have 5 fingers? That's like a very weird assumption. Like, have you seen all the aliens on this universe to come to this conclusion that
that's exactly my point. Why are some people reporting 3 fingers? Why are some people who have video evidence, that are saying, oh, they had 5 fingers,
even 6?
But I think also, right? Fingers, why do like we say, like we don't really know what they are, like the mantids, the reptilians, and the grays and whatever. And you've got small grays and big grays and hybrids, right? I mean, so they could be all of the above, right? It doesn't have to be one mold to fit them in. And I think
also these grays are like genetically modified. This is what I know about them. They are not like actual, like more like a robot and stuff, but
like a robot. Kirk always said that.
That's yes, I do think that is probably what's the most likely is they are biorobots that are sent to perform certain tasks, and because whatever tasks they're sent to perform, they have whatever big eyes, small eyes, a certain amount of fingers. A huge penis. Who knows?
What was that post? Remember that post on Reddit that said, and this guy was in the program, and he said there's a huge structure in the ocean that prints. He basically said 3D prints. He said 3D prints the UFOs themselves and the occupants, by spec of the project.
Yes, Adam, you and I covered that on one of our shows. I mean, this must have been over a year ago at this point. But I mean, that was one of the things where the UFO in this 4chan post, the UFOs and its occupants are printed to perform. They are printed in to perform a certain task in a certain way, and that's why they look and act the way that they do, which is a very interesting and crazy and straight up kind of scary concept.
Kind of also fits what we're doing with drones, right? You would drones and not yourself if you could. And I think also, I think it was Razor Giorgiani who pointed out that it could also be sort of the other way around, that the occupants are actually the machines, and that the UAP itself is the living object. Like, because we associate the object or the machine with the UFO, and the occupants as the beings operating it, but it could actually be the other way around, because they need like bipedal things to operate on us, and to get things done, right? So
I love that concept. Like, basically, if we want to interact with ants, we're not going to go as humans. We're going to create smaller things to go and interact with the ants.
Ant-like things.
We'll 3D print a beetle that has ants on its back, and the beetle will go down there and drop off the ants. But no, honestly, I mean, I'm making a goof here, but I mean, that truly is the concept.
Yeah. Is that the picture?
Just for the So you see the white area here?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Which is empty. So this is a part of actual building, but they didn't build a building around it.
Oh, interesting. I see how it's
not the real. So cube is not the real shape. That's the real shape. So but they don't want to do it because people can go inside and pray. So they. So this 12 times and recreated. That's why there are always different. Yeah.
Interesting.
That was just the point.
And now,
so calling it a cube is like the whole theory around it is a wrong theory.
I'm gonna now go to the Roswell archive.
Oh yes. So
when we go there, I also want to talk about 3i Atlas whenever because it's very important.
The reason why this was leaked or not leaked but released is because I think a couple of years ago, when we first started the UA Disclosure Act, they stripped it, right, and they only left a few lines in there. One of the lines is anything that any of the agencies have that's more than 25 years old has to be released. So I think that's why the National Archives released this, and this was obviously in the archives.
So what is that like?
So if you go
blueprints for Batman or something,
it's the crash. It's the crash site. But yeah, and it looks like the B2. It looks exactly like the B2.
Yeah, it's almost like, where did they get that B2 technology? Where did they get that B2 idea?
Yeah, if you scroll down, I think someone found an alien on there too, right? Yeah, maybe this one.
Okay, so Adam, you sent that to me earlier this week, and I kind of do think it's one of those periodola things where people are looking at pixels of a picture again that was taken 70, 80 years ago?
47, yeah.
But I think one of the points of the thing was that it actually matches the descriptions that were given back then by
by Corso,
by the witnesses to the event. Yeah. Like that, it actually fits their descriptions, the size, the shape. So
yeah, this is the National Archives. It's not like some weird website.
No, I know, but it's that you put a red circle over anything in this photo in particular, and you can turn that into.
Yeah, maybe the alien, but like the craft, it's obviously the craft.
I was specifically talking. Sorry, I should be more specific.
Yeah, definitely the alien. Yeah. Pareidolia.
I think I'm searching for the alien. I think you sent it to me. So
just zoom in on literally any part of this picture, and we will find the alien.
Right, especially when it's AI enhanced like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Where is it?
Yeah, it's like on the floor, like
I think it's down to the left, right?
Can you enlarge the picture because I can't see it properly? Like full screen the picture.
This one?
Yeah, this is enhanced by AI, by the way.
Yeah, so that means nothing. And hence,
no, I know, AI. but the one that's not is just you can see it's
right.
Or even
no,
better.
I understand. Yeah. I understand.
But at least they released it. It means something happened over there. Otherwise, they won't.
Oh no, definitely.
Oh, for sure, 100%. They passed the National Security Act a month after.
Yeah, no, 100%. No one's denying that.
Yeah.
I can't find the alien one.
Here, wait. Let me see if I can find something.
You can also share screen, by the way. I can pop it up.
Is this it? There was found national resemblance, the craft, discovered witness. Oh yeah, it kind of is. Here's this one. Oh, it's Chris Ramsey. If you go to his
Adam, just pull it up on your thing.
Oh,
yeah, you can share it too. I can just pop it up.
Yeah, let's just keep it with you. I'll send it. I'll send it in our chat.
Yeah, send it.
Adam doesn't want to let the viewers know all of the porn tabs he's got on his,
yeah, you got. Yeah, it's enough that Palantir knows my fetishes.
Got it.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like Chris Ramsey shared something.
There it is.
And it's cool. The National Archives did this. It's not. I'm sure someone in there is doing us a favor. Yeah, that picture.
Okay, this
looks. Oh, it looks pretty convincing, actually.
Yeah, but But
how big is he though? He looks kind of big compared to the craft.
It looks really
right?
big, so it could be paranormal.
Wait, that's supposed to be the alien?
Yeah, right there.
You see him here on the edge of the crater with his, I guess, on his back with his legs over the edge.
No,
how
that's a
big
huge
is that?
being. Yeah,
It's
that's
like
a huge being.
100 feet long.
Oh, okay. Okay, now I see it. That took, I'm so sorry, everybody. That took way too long for me to like see what was going on.
Here's the crater, and here is a fragment of the ship.
Yeah, and then that thing is half the size of the ship.
Yeah, if this is the whole ship, right? We don't know if this is the
Right.
entire ship. It could be a fragment piece.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Like,
the alien thing's a stretch. The craft, I can definitely see it.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, you know, the National Archives put this up, so thank you for them.
Why are you humans so small?
Yeah, I mean, look at that body. If you compare it, it's almost the same size as the craft, right?
Yeah.
What if they were bioprinting it and they just print a bigger alien by mistake?
Yeah.
That's why it crashed. There was a malfunction over there.
This ship was only supposed to house 200 pounds of alien, but this alien is 600 pounds. Oh no!
Yeah, but that makes more sense why it was crashed, right? There was a malfunction.
Well, I think Philip Corso went into the reason. Like there was like a gigantic thunderstorm going on, and apparently there were two objects flying close to each other, like two UAPs.
Crashed apparently, right?
And then
Together.
one got hit by the lightning, and the other flew into the other one, and that's why they both.
I mean, I would think we shot them down, you know, like we do today. You know?
Yeah, but this was in 47, right? So.
Yeah, in 47.
I don't even know if we had missiles back then.
That's a good point. Actually, we started shooting them in the 50s. Actually.
So Adam, didn't we talk about this on the show? Is like it was kind of man. Am I misremembering? Like I could have sworn like something about Roswell. There was the base there that was shooting out radio waves, and it was an accident.
Oh,
that shot down a UFO.
Yes, it was high powered. It was high power radars. Radars were still, you know, new because it was after World War II, and we had these high powered radars that were at Roswell because you know it was a high. Oh, here we go. Yeah, what is going on? We have like 3 different interstellar objects coming in to our solar system.
Yeah, time to party, bro.
And the new one is even bigger than Atlas.
Right. They're here to watch They're here to watch the apocalypse.
Yeah,
there's a party going on.
Possible, yeah.
I mean,
maybe they're just news crew for different planets.
Yeah, exactly. It's intelligence. Go find out what those humans are doing.
And I think that the new one is it's not only larger, but it will also be sort of closest to the Earth around October. I think the 27th or something. So you got both Atlas and this new one in October being observable, like very close to.
That's
to
crazy.
Earth.
Yeah. Also, Atlas gonna disappear on 27th or 28th of October.
It'll be gone. Oh no, it goes behind the sun.
Behind the sun. This is what so this is a very crucial period. That's why I want to talk about 3i Atlas, because like after this podcast, next time when we all talk or you guys just talk each other, Atlas will be disappeared. It will be behind the sun. Right. So this is the last week of its visibility. So, and I think Avi Loeb said that after 27th or 28th is going to be a whole different kind of a world, because if it disappeared and we don't know, and if after like a month when it will reappear, if it's in a different trajectory, it means it's an alien ship.
Holy shit. Well, yeah, he would love that.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I think it's a very military move too, right? We won't see it coming.
Right, exactly.
I'm sorry. I just keep like I keep seeing Atlas. Atlas is as like a party boat, or like some sort of like a bunch of aliens. Like, what up, Beetlejuice? This 3i Atlas, and we're here to watch Earth die. Check this out. And they're all like, they've got their telescopes pointed at us and everything. And man, I had that image stuck in my head.
They're like a Bledsoe, like throwing a party at the end of the world. Right?
Oh yeah, Bledsoe.
What else
apparently
is there to do?
Apparently, Bledsoe is going to go on a trip to Egypt. He's to be there and next year, April next year, at the Sphinx. So maybe we should all go there too.
Yeah,
I would love that.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make a trip out to Egypt.
Just help me connect the dots here. Unidentified flying object, spiritual interactions, because you obviously would not be the first person that I've ever met that has claimed to have interactions with angels or demons or an invisible dimension, but you're now connecting it with a UFO. Help me understand that.
Well, when there's a reason I did that. I've studied this thing for the last 17 years with some of the best scholars out there, and going through the whole thing of what happened to me and still happening and the way it reacts. It's not I have seen mechanical machines. I have seen those. And it appears that these orbs can morph into those. They can do either one. So what I wanted to do is bring this front and center. Is the UFO that we're seeing, is it related to the biblical story? And a lot of people think it is. And the way it reacts, I tend to believe it's very closely related in some way. They were UFOs. They were unidentified. And they took me and they brought me back. And I was calling out to God for help. And so that's the confusing thing. It responded in that manner to me, but it was unidentified. So I think the title's fitting, and I think there's going to be, there's a need for a whole lot more study here to see what it is that we're dealing with. I can tell you this, I get thousands of emails, probably 5,000 this month, and everybody wants to tell me their story. And the majority of the people that write me tell me, 99% tell me that when they started seeing lights in the sky, it was because of a trauma, a loved one passing away, mother, dad, child, and a whole lot more. So somehow or another is tied, Charlie, and I think it's going to take a lot more work to find out.
So I just wanted to stop it here, but so Sid and you, Adam, you both have seen UAPs or UFOs. Like, do you have like trauma in your lives, like that sort of?
I mean, I think everyone has trauma. Do I link it to seeing? I mean, not with me, I guess. Mine have been because I've been at the right place at the right time. But usually there's a lot of trauma happening, like, in Iraq for sure. There's a lot of trauma going on there, right? So maybe they react to that. So I saw them there.
Yeah,
but I've also seen them quiet nights, with nothing going on.
Same with me. I won't associate traumas. Everybody have traumas, right? So I won't associate with them. Like, most of the time, like, people are in trouble. They are traumatized in this world anyway, and they see something, they are correlating it. I won't correlate with that.
But you, for example, Jake, what's his name?
Jake Barber.
Jake Barber. Yeah, Jake Barber also explicitly links it to trauma, right? That they train people like himself, back in the day, that he had to, I don't know, do very complicated mathematical calculations, and then he had to do the same thing while he was basically drowning, and that sort of piqued all his senses, and that sort of unlocked abilities that he wasn't sure that he had.
There are other ways to unlock abilities. Trauma is one, like,
lots of mushrooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, also traumatizing, right? I mean, in a way.
No, I won't say it's traumatizing. It's just like a different experience. Overwhelming experience, yes. I won't say traumatizing.
Yeah, because you said that was the last time you did it, and then you never took it again.
Yeah, but
that sounds traumatic.
I won't categorize it. It's just like it was overwhelming. I wasn't. It was weird, but I won't say traumatizing. And it was just one, right? I have taken mushrooms for years, so like if I had like 50 experiences, one was too much, but other than that, it was fine. The last
yeah,
one was
but it makes sense. It makes sense because people, when they go through trauma, they reach out and they probably look up into the sky and they're trying to communicate, and maybe they go outside more. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you could also say that it's sort of unlocks, that you sort of reach into yourself and that you discover that you have potentials, like when you're threatened with death or something, that you sort of you suddenly become fully active, like in order to survive.
I think it really has to do with just being more open. If you are hard set in your ways, I'm saying this and then I'm slowly arguing with myself in my head, because a lot of people who are hardcore work, life, family, they still end up seeing UFOs. So I don't know. I don't really think it has to do with trauma, and I don't even think it has to do with having an open mind. I mean, maybe it does, but there are plenty of people who don't have open minds who have reported to seeing UFOs. I mean, later in life, sure, they get open minds. I'm thinking of some of historical UFO cases, but I don't know.
I think it's just random.
I do too. I think that's I totally agree with you. I think it is completely random.
Well, I think it seems random to us because we have no idea what's going on.
No, but like I'm a random guy. Adam is a random guy. Like we don't have like severe.
Oh yeah, but I think sort of the UFO phenomena, whatever it is, I think it's doing something, and I think it's not choosing.
Yeah, I mean that is a good point. It might be that we're not understanding what it's what it's trying to do.
Right.
But even comets throughout history have always been an omen, right, of danger, and now we have these 3 coming in. Is that normal? I mean,
it's not normal. It's super weird because I think you used to see like one comet in a century or something.
Yeah.
Now you are seeing 3 in the same time period. It's weird as.
It is very, very weird.
We're getting bigger.
And right now we know about 3. I don't know how many others we will be seeing. I think apocalypse is happening very soon, and they are just here to report.
And if you look on your left, you'll see the planet Earth. These humans have been fighting with each other for centuries, thousands of years, and we are here to watch the final reckoning.
Right, and if you look on your right, there's Mars that we destroyed millions of years ago.
yeah, you'll see the old Earth, what the Earthlings call Mars, right over there to your right.
I mean, we all know something's going on, something's happening, right? And it doesn't look bright.
Also, time is different too for them and us too, right? Because like if you're in the biggest space, the time works differently. So maybe they have already seen it coming, like way before that, and now they are actually visiting here and just going to witness it, but they already know it's gonna happen. Because time works differently. Like even the light move faster, so they would have seen it or something, and they have time traveled back or whatever. We don't know how their science works, and they are actually here to visit, to see the destruction of this planet.
I mean, it's not a coincidence. I mean, definitely something weird's going on. It's not normal.
3 comets is weird. It's really weird.
and they're all interstellar as well, right? They're not normal. They're not from our solar system or anything.
They're from beyond the Oort cloud. That's that's
and if these non-human life forms, if they work on a time scale that's so much different to ours, it wouldn't. Us human life would not even be. It'd be like looking at bacteria to them, right? If they're millions or hundreds of millions, billions of years old, they look and see this group of entities that are just thousands of years old. They'd be like, oh, okay, well, it's like it'd be like us watching ants. Like I think Adam brought that up earlier.
Growing pains.
Yeah, it's just like, what is this? This is not worth our time. It's fun to watch, but who cares at the end of the day?
Yeah, maybe they're building like a highway through the galaxy.
They need to make it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just like oh shoot, the book
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Hitchhikers, thank you.
Yeah, but Hitchhikers also said Earth was a computer program.
Yeah.
Did it?
Right. Yeah.
No, but the whole universe was like a computer program. Hitchhiker.
Oh, that the whole universe, not planet Earth.
Because I think they went to the factories where they were building a lot of planets, and Earth was one of that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, I want to wrap it up. I really enjoyed it, and I think we talked about everything except Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
We did it again. We did it again, Adam.
Well, I right now, actually, no. When we started, they were having the memorial, so it's probably done by now.
Yeah, but I think we can all agree that it was done to divide people, which has been very successful,
as usual,
and also to stop people talking about Epstein.
Oh yes, of course, everything.
Yeah.
And they literally closed the files forever just next day. It was so weird.
Yeah, because Charlie he's the one who said that it's Israeli intelligence, Epstein, and he wants to release the files, and he was against the war in Iran and so many other things, and he brings on Candace and Tucker to Amfest. I mean, Tucker was saying on the stage there, he goes, if you think you can go and work in another army, a foreign army, you don't deserve to be an American. He was saying stuff like that on that stage. I mean, it must have drove them insane.
Yeah. So it's kind of genius, right? Because you silence Kirk, right?
Yeah.
Because he was starting to talk about the wrong things. You silence the whole debate about Epstein in one fell swoop. Then you divide the country fundamentally, and you use somebody who's actually for free speech to stop free speech.
In the throat. They got him in the throat for his speech.
Also, one more thing. Erica, his wife's parents, used to work for Raytheon on Israeli division.
No.
I was shocked when I read that their parents was like they were building specific technologies for Raytheon. For Israel in Raytheon, and they were like high level guys. So. And you will find a lot of anomalies when you look into Erica's background.
Yeah, she's CEO now, right?
She's CEO, and her experience was very weird too. Like she was a model as well, and then a lot of things. She was also 5 years older than Charlie.
I didn't know that. She's Catholic as well, right? She's Catholic.
She's Catholic, yeah.
And he was apparently gonna become Catholic too, and that's a big no. That's a big no.
Charlie Kirk was changing a lot with his views because he was turning against it, and Israel cannot afford to lose Charlie, so it's better.
Bingo.
Yeah, it was like 100. I think 100% is Israel. I'm not saying it's Netanyahu himself, but like Israel is like a big entity.
It's huge. I mean, AIPAC alone. I mean, they were going after AIPAC. They can't have that.
I don't know.
Also, it's so weird. Like Netanyahu is coming out of like 5 times and saying, "I didn't kill him."
Yeah, it's not crazy.
It's very weird. I was just about to make a joke about I saw Netanyahu on a rooftop in Utah, but I think we're past that at this point.
Did you see those pictures? People were superimposing Netanyahu's face on Tyler's face coming up the stairs.
It is.
Or Ben Shapiro's one.
It is
Ben Shapiro's. That's a good one too.
Yeah. It is really weird that he had to come out. I mean, like, because if you're guilty, like I know when I was a kid and I screwed up, I definitely went up to my parents and was like, "Hey, I definitely did not do this."
Also, did you check the text messages they released
so stupid.
to his girlfriend, right, Tyler Robinson? It is I, your lover.
So
Who talks
dumb,
like that?
I'm gonna circle back to my vehicle. Like what?
Yeah,
it is written like out of touch politicians would write. As a 20-year-old. You know what I mean?
I think he personally write that. Cash.
And then they
Cash. Yeah, probably Cash did it.
Yeah, he probably talks to his Mossad girlfriend like, "It is I, your lover. Come to my arms."
Yeah, see you in Valhalla, bitch.
Yeah, see you in Valhalla.
But it was clearly a deep state hit.
For sure.
And also the assassin. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff around.
He's a patsy, right? It's the same thing, like just like JFK. I mean, it's the exact same thing. And now we have another magic bullet. The magic bullet stopped in his bones. Come on,
and a 30-06, no less. Which is, if anyone who knows anything about guns knows those things.
Fought the evidence on Discord, and then they lost the what was it, the paper it was written on, but they used invasive.
And And he changed clothes during the whole project.
A couple of times.
He was wearing different when he was walking, and then he wear another thing. It's so weird.
What's the newest thing about him showing up at Dairy Queen like 20 miles away or whatever?
Yeah, is that a real image? Is that a real image or is it AI?
A lot of people are saying it's real. A lot of people are saying it's not real, but looks real to me.
Well, there you go.
But also, I think, sort of the greatest achievement of the CIA is making Americans believe in the lone wolf theory. Because everywhere else where somebody gets killed, the first thing people say is like the government or it's a coup or whatever. But only in America and Europe, they believe in single individuals that act on their own accord. Right? I mean, that's no such thing.
Also, Tyler Robinson is not confessing to the crime. He was arrested, which is weird. Yeah. Like the story, they said that he is surrendering, and if he surrendered, then why he's not confessing is weird.
Exactly.
And the bullet is so stupid. Like you can't have a magic bullet twice in 1 century. JFK and Charlie Kirk, impossible.
But that's also right. If we see somebody get assassinated in another country, like in a third world country, the first thing we say it's like some kind of organization or the government.
Exactly. Yeah.
So then we don't believe in the lone wolf theory. It's only when it's
And why do they blame people for questioning Israel? They literally assassinate people every single day in different countries, with the pagers. Look what they just try to do in Qatar. Just over and over. They have people on 60 Minutes saying, we write the script, we are the actors, the world is our stage. Of course we're going to say it's you guys.
Well, the reason people don't question Israel is because when they question them, they get black bagged. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you guys, overseas in
the gulags.
In the gulags.
Also, that's why actually Nick, I really like Nick Fuentes, but I think he's just doing this to save himself because he knows the way they attack Antifa, the next are Groypers, and he want to save them. That's why he's just playing that.
He's scared about the
I don't think he's real. He genuinely feel that, but he's just trying to protect himself and his people.
And he hates Candace and Tucker. Don't forget, right? They attacked him, so he still acts like a kid.
Yeah,
in that sense. But even Ashton, he's going strong against this, saying if anyone who's questioning this is a schizo, like easy there, man. You know what I mean? Like calm down.
Alex Jones is coming out and commenting on random people's tweets that you need to take meds and stuff. Like, what's happening? There is a big cover up going on.
Yeah, there is a cover up for sure.
Yeah, and usually they use one distraction to take our eyes off something else that's happening.
Also, there is another theory going on that the shot came from the back, and this is the exit wound, and the bullet was way smaller. I don't know, but this is a theory. Right?
It's like the rocket that hit the UAP. It sort of bounced, wiggle.
Well, a lot of drones were found as well. Did you guys see those images of drones all around the area?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, nobody spotted that.
Going back to
also one more thing. His security was Israeli. Charlie
of course they were.
The whole security was like Israeli the people were Israelis. So
and that Howard Zinn guy or whatever his name
said
is,
that multiple
Zinn, the one who did the distraction.
Zinn was also
what the fuck? He was there in 9/11 and the Boston bombing. Come on.
Well, you've got tourists that like to go to, fun, buildings and stuff on Earth, and you've got tourists that like to go to assassinations and people dying. It's like the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Taking a vacation, they want a front row seat to assassination.
Sure. Like all those boats.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, by the way, Ben Shapiro's taking over. The next day, Ben Shapiro was on that channel, and now I think the rumors are he's taking. There is like a rumor that Erica is taking, but there is also another thing going on that Ben Shapiro's company is gonna take over, or at least buy some shares.
Because they were going bankrupt, so this is a perfect gift for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but I think
people will stop listening to
him. Hopefully they will. But just to go back to Nick, his account grew from 500,000 to like 900,000. He gained 400,000 followers after the assassination, right? So these are all Charlie's guys.
Yes.
So I'm thinking.
I thought you were talking about my account.
Oh no, sorry. No, Fuentes. Nick Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, but I think he doesn't want to radicalize them, and that's why he's taking this stance where You know, he just wants to see more evidence. We're not going to
No,
see
but they,
evidence, man.
you know, by the way, I listened to a lot of like people who were Charlie's friend. They all are saying it's
Yep.
Israel. So they are already radicalized. They are surprised
Oh,
actually why
interesting.
Nick is doing it.
And it will also be interesting, right?
That is some good info, Sid. You guys heard it here first.
It will be very interesting to
Yeah,
see
because
if they-
I listen to a lot of Twitter spaces, and a lot of people who personally knows and hang out with Charlie
Yeah.
Kirk, they were saying that it's Israel.
Makes sense.
And everything, the whole story doesn't make any sense. And he was turning against
Yeah.
Israel. He actually, one day before that, he had a fight with what's the famous
some
billionaire
rabbi,
who
right?
gave rabbi as well, but the one from the team from this famous billionaire
Ackman.
who
Bill
also
Ackman.
put like 1 million. Ackman, yeah, Ackman's team.
Yeah.
So they also had a fight regarding Israel because he was, and with Ben Shapiro as well, he said something weird that Ben Shapiro's face expressions changed. So a lot of things were happening.
Anyway,
and they could not afford to lose Charlie Kirk. That was the last wall.
Yep.
Otherwise, all of America will turn against it. They can't afford
But they're
it
turning
now, so
anyway, right?
They
Yeah, well,
bought
you
some
know,
time. They're turning more now.
Yeah, exactly.
But it will be very interesting if they can keep the lid on all of this stuff, right, by doing such desperate actions. And
It doesn't matter. It won't stop because,
Exactly.
like, JFK lid was on for a long time, but everybody believed what's actually happening behind.
Same thing with 9/11.
Right?
Yeah.
With Epstein, right? They are keeping the lid on, but we all know what's.
We
the
all
same
know.
with the Trump.
but I mean, sort of like they try to break the momentum, and I don't think they can break the momentum.
No, I don't think.
It
I
was an
think
act of desperation.
whatever
but
they are
it will
doing, the
backfire.
opposite's happening. It's always
Yeah, that's what I
backfiring
say.
them, and opposite, and like opposite outcome for them. So I don't think they have expected people turning against them, and then they turn against them.
Yeah, that quickly, exactly, and that's why
Yeah.
he's on the offensive. That's why Netanyahu is on
Yeah.
on these shows denying anything that Israel did it. Which,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. Also, I think Laura Loomer was also saying that something big is happening. I think they are trying to do
I saw that.
another 9/11, and they are just.
She said Al Qaeda.
Yeah.
But you know, if you read the comments underneath, everyone knows she's full of shit and she's an operative. You know, everyone's like,
yeah. But what I'm saying, if anything happened, it's 100% false flag to do another big war. Yeah, so just be careful. At least some people have to know so they can tell others, because other people are stupid. They will follow whatever the government is saying. So we need to be.
I agree that this
Every single
assassination was not big enough, right? That something bigger has to happen.
Yeah, I think something big has to happen because it's not big enough. But they will do it. They want to divide. They want a civil war and the world war at the same time.
Yeah, because even the civil war is not working. Like the right does want to fight against the left, and the government is pushing this, but a lot of people who are in the right and left are not buying it.
Yeah,
they know what's happening.
It's weird that right and left are on the same page first time, at least on Israel.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of refreshing, actually.
Yeah.
It is. Who knows, man? But they might want to just completely destroy the country then and reset it.
Yeah, so that's why they're gonna do bigger false flag. This was like the beginning. I think it's something big gonna happen, and just be careful, everyone.
Yeah,
at least with
don't
the narrative.
fall for it.
Yeah, don't fall for it. And even with Charlie Kirk, we saw a lot of people fall for it. They were calling for civil war, or like they canceled a lot of left. That was stupid. Like,
so
just
stupid.
be careful.
It is.
Yeah, really.
Think from stay awake. That's what
those lectures of Peter Thiel about the
Is there any way we can get those, or do we have to pay for them?
I'm really curious what he has to say.
Oh, there will be a pirated version out. Once I find something, I will send it to you guys.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And for everyone out there, just listen to our shows, and you guys will be in the know.
Yep.
And not fall for the narratives.
Follow UAP the podcast, and we should do this again. Like, I mean, it's a lot of fun, and
definitely
we are just scratching the surface.
Yeah, I agree. We should maybe do once a month or something. Up to you guys.
Sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, we also want a lot of people in our podcast, so like it's amazing. Yeah, let's plan the next one and let's do
Sounds good, guys.
Hey guys, thanks for being on the show, and Do you want to say anything before we sign off?
Well, I mean, thanks for having us. It was a lot of fun, just like last time as well. We love talking about these and discussing these events and different theories. Other than that, no, yeah, if you guys can follow us at UAP the Podcast on X, and you can find us on all podcasting platforms and video platforms.
Yeah, Adam kind of already said it. I do want to say thank you so much for inviting us on the show. It was just a blast hanging out with you guys again. I really do think the four of us should take a trip to Egypt, or maybe we go hang out with Stephen Greer and Joshua Tree. We should just do in real life UAP things.
Nice, I like that.
Actually, it's a good idea,
guys. Once I sort of hit the jackpot with crypto, actually, I want to sort of focus exclusively on UAPs and just travel around the world.
We should do something like that. Yeah, I will. I'm open to that, and we'll throw rock at Zaya.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I second that one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, take care and see you soon.
All right, thank you.
Sounds good. See ya.
Bye.